What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, I know you're pretty excited, right? We're in our little magic steampunk London, whatever you want to call it, all right, as its little thing that we're living in our D&D world here. But we all got our own little adventures we're going on, and frankly, I would like to believe they're going pretty successfully, but I guess you'll have to see for yourself. If you got any questions, comment it down below. And if you don't know, we just finished up the Naruto 5e League. Grand Finals was amazing. Be very prepared for a video for that this week about how it went, who won, who were the standout performances, and all that good jazz. But nonetheless, I'm gonna let y'all hop in. I hope you enjoy. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace out. Where did we start? That's always my struggle. Once I get the start, we're good.
I think, yeah, you guys started at the end of last time, so
We were still at the
started
mansion, right?
manor.
Okay,
I was
yeah.
Virgil.
Yeah.
Okay, so we all kind of got our final farewells, our final adieus, if you will. Rose, with her really sick request, ended up getting some pretty schnasty armor and a shield, I believe was hers, and then Ray got a cute little buffy wuffy. We don't really know what that means yet, at least the others don't, but some form of combative thing, we assume. Eris got lots of money, and then Riley got disappointment. So, all things considered, we got some pretty neat gifts. I think. Good job, guys. We nailed that one. But got some words of encouragement, at least from Maynard leaving. They end up making their way, going to see Mr. Phillip, who's arrested. As they make it here, they end up finding him, seeing him, kind of finding him in the prison. When making their way, they talk to him. They, at least as of now, I believe the plan is, as they've kind of like talked to people and gotten their way, are going to hang around for the next like month-ish, doing a slew of different things. Rose starting to make a little name for herself amongst the fans. Riley prepping for his little tournament. And Eris looking for some black market deals towards the end there. So we're gonna see what's going on there. I think that's most of it. A lot of it was kind of role play leading up to this and what will happen now, I think. I think that's most important things. Riley did steal a key, hoping that worst case scenario he can use it to help Philip because he feels Philip was wrongfully incarcerated. But we will see if that bites him in the ass. I think that's it. I think we're chilling.
Yeah, that sounds about right. With that, I guess we can kind of do this in order of, I don't know, who would like to go first? I mean, it's kind of the Eris and Riley crew, and then the Ray and Rose crew at the moment are kind of split. I was gonna say though, since you guys are gonna be spending some time here, just for the sake of convenience, and I unless you guys like strongly disagree, I'll have you guys happen to find a nice inn that everyone can stay in. It does have a deluxe suite if Eris would like to splurge a little bit and have a nicer room than everyone else. But they also have cheaper rooms for the other two less rich individuals.
I was gonna say,
So unless
you go second, by the way, since I'm the one out of the two.
Okay. Here, let me show you guys what this is, the Powder Inn.
There we go.
And we'll go there for now. Can you guys see the map?
Not at the moment. We are also paused, just so you know.
You guys are so needy about the whole pause situation. It's always like,
That's not time I help you.
Already
Last time I help
paused.
you. Last time I help you. That's it. I'm done. I'm over it.
Okay, here we go. We will disable lighting.
Good, I didn't even want to be able to see.
Give me the light. Haha.
There you go.
So this is back at the inn at nighttime, I presume.
I'll say this is like when you guys are arranging for the rooms, which would probably be like late afternoon or early evening or something like that.
Okay.
I figured out how to turn myself.
Stop it. Stop it.
She has too much
Forget,
power.
forget that. Yeah, forget all about however. I don't even know how you did that, to be honest.
Neither
Um,
do I.
but in any case, yeah, it's kind of up to. I mean, I'm assuming that Rose, Ray, and Riley are gonna opt for the cheaper options. But it's
Assuredly.
up to
Yeah.
Eris whether or not she'd like to splurge on the deluxe suite.
What do they say the
No.
price of rooms are right now?
So I'll say you guys are planning on spending about a month here. So it's about a gold per night per person.
Shit.
Although I guess Rose and Ray are, I assume, sleeping in like the same room, like 2 beds or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
One bed.
so well, I
To
mean,
be clear, this is important.
whatever. Uh, so that'd be 20 gold per person for the cheaper rooms. I'll say you don't have to pay all of that up front. You can pay half up front and half through the course of
20 gold per person? What was the where'd the 20 come from? Oh, you're saying like for the whole stay.
for the whole month. Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Riley's gonna pay one at a time for now.
Fair enough.
I'll go ahead and mark off one for my first night here.
For the deluxe suite, it is double that.
Oh, a whopping 2 gold a night?
Yes.
Damn, is there's gonna have
Nah.
that fine dining life?
Nah, I don't need that shit.
Okay. All right. But yeah, you guys arrange for rooms here. I guess we can do that now. Let's get everybody settled in, nice and comfy.
So was that just like the first floor of the place basically, and now we're going
Yeah,
upstairs to where
and
the
this
rooms
is
are?
the second floor.
Okay.
So you can see the wonderful deluxe suite that you could have gotten, but
Oh.
instead,
Oh, you could have had a personal bath. Damn, you missed out.
Damn.
Wait, are you telling me this room at the top right here is worth 1 gold? This should be like 5 silver a night. Come on now.
that is the room that you were given. Funny you should mention that, Riley.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
Hey, you got a window.
They all have
It's
windows.
It's not completely a
They
prison
literally
cell.
all have windows.
But yeah, I'll say Rose and Ray. As Ray is adorable, he would have given you guys a better room.
Damn, that's fucked.
Nice.
Probably the one up there. It's a little bit larger. And Eris, you would get this one on the side here.
Oh.
She does technically have 2 beds, but still not quite as large as maybe you might have hoped.
Hey, unironically, Riley's still pumped to have his own room. He doesn't even care. He feels powerful.
But yeah, with your accommodations sorted out, Riley and Eris, what would you guys like to do with some of your free time?
I guess I'm chilling in here. What time are we talking? What's it at right now?
I'll say you guys have like a nice evening meal together at the inn, kind of getting used to your surroundings, maybe explore the neighborhood that you find yourselves in. You guys are in the club district. That's where this inn is located.
Okay.
I'll say, yeah, you guys spend the evening there, and then the following morning. So we will skip to the next day here.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
I wanna make it very clear that at night Riley is studying his Emperor's Gambit board. He's working on it. But yeah, I mean, in the morning I'd wake up and wait for Eris to get up. I suppose waiting downstairs. Eris and
Sideways
Rose.
Eris will make her way downstairs.
Okay.
I'm never fixing myself, by the way.
I actually don't know how
Sideways,
you did that.
Sketchy individual.
I'm never fixing myself.
In any case, you guys are free to discuss where you'd like to go or what you'd like to do.
There we go. Yeah, I guess kind of sitting down waiting. I mean, as people come down, if I'm the first one to wake up, I would be like, "Oh, hey,
You definitely would be.
yeah, assumedly so. Seeing as Rose and Ray probably had a late night, like, hey, everyone come over here. I figure we could, talk about what we did last night." Rose is fucking spazzing out right now.
Too much
She's very
coffee.
excited.
Rose, are you alive?
You're muted if you are not aware.
Oh God.
I mean, yeah, yeah, I'm here.
Okay. So as we come down, having spent most of the day with Eris, so knowing, that most of those charades, I'm gonna go, oh, so, Rose, did you end up getting to play at the place?
I thought you two were the only one that went down.
Oh,
That's up to
did you
Ray
not
Rose.
come down? Okay, gotcha. I had said I was kind of waiting for everyone because I was gonna have a chat about what happened yesterday.
Okay, then yeah. Yeah, I got to play. I performed the band as per usual. I'm not usually talking about many things, but this is one of them.
Nice. That's awesome. I know we had kind of mentioned this. I definitely want to take some time today. I'm gonna try to like get you something for your show, something to make it pop. To add some effects and stuff.
It's all good. If you have time, sure, but talent comes before the flair sometimes.
Okay. I guess at a bare minimum, I can start working on it, and then I can perfect it before you get a more of a a big time show somewhere crazy.
Figured it out.
Figured out as he turns upside down.
Yeah, no problem. What are you guys planning to do?
Well, we kind of walked around, and I got some cool news that they have a tournament for this game here called Emperor's Gambit that I'm gonna play in. I'm really excited. I'm hoping I can beat some people and hopefully make some money. Kind of a good kickstart to our journey.
When is the
Not
tournament
too
again?
shabby.
Oh, it's and I'll go ahead and pull out my little calendar book. As I am daily marking off everything to keep track, and I'm like, oh well, it's the 15th. So it's about this many days away. I don't know exactly what day it is right now, but whatever I have.
Can always check your calendar.
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck do I get to the calendar again?
Yeah, I forget how to do this.
Ah, I got there.
Journal notes
Today,
at the bottom and then simple calendar.
today's the 2nd? God damn, we got a long time until then. Damn, I guess you have all the time in the world to practice for it, huh?
How the hell do I get to this calendar? What'd you say?
The little bookmark and then the last one on the second row.
Oh, this thing. Ah, there it is. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I got plenty of time, and hopefully I can go maybe play some practice matches. Maybe beat a couple of maybe the lesser skilled people to get some experience before the big day. But yeah, I mean, barring that, I figure it's kind of a pretty good time killer up until Philip's trial, or at least we get some word on it.
Fair enough. I mean, yeah, I didn't want to stay terribly long, but if that's the case, might as well get some practice with the locals here.
Yeah, I guess that's something we should figure out. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I was planning on waiting until first word of the trial, and if they say it's stalling out at all, then I think it's cool to head out. Because, if it's anything like the trials back at home, they can be quite lengthy sometimes.
Yeah. I like Philip as well, but I'd rather not stay here for more than a month.
Understood. I'm okay with giving it just a month. Eris, how do you feel?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. No more than a month. Then I'll get too impatient and leave.
That's fair enough. Miss Eris, are you gonna go check out, some of your places today?
Sure am, kid. You want to tag along?
Yeah, I do. And
Oh,
thus
yeah.
it begins.
Where are you guys going?
Oh.
Somewhere very legal and safe.
I kind of give
So
Eris.
illegal and unsafe.
I give Eris a weird look.
No,
and then-
that's not what I said.
Oh, that's-
I know. It's what you meant.
I giggle and go, yeah, it's a little bit of a black market, so they say, but I think it'll be fine. I'll try to make sure she doesn't get into too much trouble.
Rose and Ray look at each other. They both look at you guys and go, "Hey, you're an adult now, and so is she. So, be safe."
We sure will. Come on. All right. Well, is that it? You want to head out?
Yeah, I guess that's it. And yeah, I'd kind of rather go during the daytime. I figure it's a little safer there than going there at night. If we're gonna
Probably.
check it out.
Okay. So with that, Eris and Riley bid their adieu. They head to the contact and through the route that Eris picked up yesterday. It is in the Spade district, which is filled with factories with clouds of smoke puffing off of large chimneys. Additionally, there are pipes scattered throughout the area, large pipes. It is actually within one of these pipe systems that you guys venture until you find yourselves in a fairly large, bustling market. On the outside, you see it's fairly standard stuff. It's like street food, sort of simple wares. But most of the real business, it seems, are done on the inside of the various storefronts that are heavily sort of the windows are tinted so that as you can't see inside, and it's fairly dimly lit in general. People down here tend to have their hoods up, although not all. There are quite a few richer individuals who appear to be comfortable traveling through these steps without fearing for their persons.
Interesting.
But yeah, what would you guys like to do?
Riley, for the most part, is just kind of following Eris around at the moment. Not wanting to veer too far.
I can't recall. Did Eris get a specific tip on where she might find magic items, or was she just made aware of the existence of the black market? I can't remember which.
I don't remember.
I think she asked about magic items, and the guy said, "Hey, this is where you could find them." So I think while she did ask, she didn't necessarily get told, like, "Hey, this is the exact spot in the place."
Yeah, the guy said you can either try to do it with the Arcane College. Sometimes they give out magic items to trusted individuals, or you can try this place, and he gave you the directions for this place.
Well, is there any fun-looking magical items around my husband?
I mean, there's no storefront which has some blaring neon magic items sold here. Like I said, there are very few like signposts or anything like that at all. This is a marketplace, but it is clearly not meant to be navigated except by those who are familiar with it.
If this does matter, she did nat 20 the check to find this place, so she, a little hint.
Oh, she did nat 20 it?
She did nat 20 to get the info for the black market.
Okay. In that case, I'll say he would have directed you not only to this place, but he specifies a particular storefront. A storefront that you'll be able to find apparently by the red teapot that they have placed outside of it.
Red teapot!
This can't possibly go bad. There's no way.
Okay, so we're like right in front of the store with the red teapot.
Sure. I'll say you guys go and make a quick investigation check, as it's still relatively difficult to find navigating your way down here.
Player characters. There's. What'd you say? Investigation?
Yeah, investigation, please. And both of you will need to roll.
A natural and a dirty. Hell yeah.
Okay. All right. So you do walk up there immediately, right off the bat.
Oh yeah. Eris is on a mission.
Eris knows what she wants.
Behind her.
Eris knows exactly what she wants. I do want to say Riley is looking for, in specific, if he sees any keys that look awfully familiar to the prison guards' keys. Basically, he's seeing if they have any prison keys in this black market and kind of trying to get a feel for, like, whatever. He'll use that information if he finds some.
I'll say with the nat 20 and the nat 20, I'll say there are places that sell keys.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but this since you guys were looking, you'd have to go into the stores and talk with those people to figure out exactly what types of keys that they're selling.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
But here, let me disable the lighting for this. Actually, no, global illumination, I think is what I want.
It's more
Can
fun
you
this
guys
way.
see now?
Yes, and it is
Ooh.
like blocked out on the walls.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
In any
wow.
case, you find yourselves in a somewhat dingy, but relatively clean hole in the wall. I'll say the windows on the sides here would probably not actually be there, as this is not an outside place. It's not facing the outdoors. It is literally part of a pipe system. However, behind the counter, there is a middle-aged gentleman. He's currently like glancing down and making little notes in a book that he has in front of him. He glances up at you as you two enter and sort of nods at you, and then looks back down to his book. He calls out, "Let me know if you need help finding anything."
Okay. Eris immediately starts looking at he has them all displayed in these shelves and stuff.
You look at the shelves around you. They are filled with books. Not magic books, however. They appear to be somewhat sleazy, the sort of books that Philip actually requested.
Okay, I was about to say Riley wants to see what kind of books there are, and if he finds,
Oh my god.
actually, I'll be the first one to approach the guy. We'll see what happens. I was like, if Eris wants to come with her, if she's examining.
Okay, Hudson, I want to find the sleaziest, nastiest book for Philip.
Okay. I'll let the nat 20 carry over. However, this will be the end of the nat 20 here. As Eris does pick a particularly lurid book off of the shelf.
Perfect.
The guy looks up at Riley as Riley sort of approached first, and he raises an eyebrow.
Oh, hello. I know what you're gonna say. I know I look young. I promise I'm mature for my age. Nonetheless, we have a friend that's really into romance novels, and I saw you had a lot of books and didn't know if you had any recommendations.
He looks over at Eris, who has approached at this point, and
Eris has like a vicious grin on her face and goes, "Oh, don't worry. I already got that covered, Riley."
Oh, well, that was easy.
Oh,
yeah,
it sure was.
he looks over at Eris in the book that she has in her hand, and he nods and he says, "Well, that's probably the one that I would recommend, depending on how sleazy you want to get." Tell you what, he waves a hand. He says, "For your good taste, you can have that for free."
Oh, well, thank you, mister. That's awesome.
Big appreciation, my sir.
Yeah, I'm more than willing to get at least one more, though. I mean, do you have any recommendations? I'm not 100% sure how, and I kind of look over, like, at the book, how into that he might be. Maybe something a tad more tame?
All right, a collection. I am perfectly willing to provide that. How many books are you interested in? Let's get that out of the way, and then I can make a selection based off of that.
Oh, I think just starting with with that one and one more is fine. I'm not looking for too many at the moment.
All right. He sort of snaps his fingers, and you hear rustling and sort of wind noises behind you as a book comes off of the bookshelf and sort of flies over, landing on his desk. He says, "This one's a bit more refined, I would say, a bit higher class. It will be 2 gold pieces."
Oh, damn. Okay. A few things. Riley is holding it in that he thought that was so cool. He just moved the book by himself. 2, he knows how these things work. He's a smart kid, but he knows he doesn't have a lot of leverage. So he's gonna look at him and kind of try to make a similar face that he made to him, like raising an eyebrow at him, and go, "Come on, sir. We both know that's not 2 gold pieces."
He grins. He will go ahead and make a quick check here. Okay.
Oh, so good. Fuck.
He
Damn.
he nods and says, all right, fair enough. He caught me. Fine. You can have that one for free as well.
Woo!
Oh, well, all right. You're actually okay. That's okay. Thank you, sir. And I will go ahead and grab the book and go to hand it to Eris to stack with the other one.
Cool. Now, what we really came here for? What kind of interesting magical artifacts you got up in here?
Oh, she just fucking sent it.
He crosses his arms and leans back into his chair. He says, I'm sorry, miss, this is a bookshop. I'm not entirely sure where you got the idea that we'd be doing anything illegal here.
Eric scoffs and goes, "Dude, come on. I got good coin if you got good wares."
Ooh, that was good.
He eyes you doubtfully. He says, could you show me exactly how many gold pieces you brought with you?
Eris frowns and goes, "What? You want me to just reveal that in this shady area?"
He snorts. He says, I'm not going to rob you. It's just a question whether or not you are worth dealing with.
Ugh, fine. Eris rolls her eyes and reluctantly pulls out her purse and shows.
Well, again, you have a
Right.
a system that tells you exactly how many
Yeah.
GP you have.
One day I'll remember that, Hudson, but today is not that day.
In any case, you show him that, and he nods. He says, well, that is an appreciable amount. Perhaps we can do some business. If I may be so cavalier about this, I believe I know who you two are. I've heard things down the grapevine. I try to keep well informed on the goings-on of, both X City and its surrounding.
That's what the check was
towns.
for. My eyes flip between Eris and our diviner mage adept
Oh.
friend here.
Really? Well, what'd you hear about us? Only good things, I hope.
Well, to be honest, not a whole lot of details. I heard about, of course, Outworlders being summoned illegally. That was a news story, although it didn't include any names or descriptions. But beyond that, it sounds as though you were involved with the Redburns. Does Riley have a response to that?
Oh yeah, I just give a huff and go, oh, thank God we don't have to hide it.
Uh-huh. And how'd you figure out it was us exactly? What gave it away?
He points at Riley.
Ah, damn it. I'm so used to your presence, kid, I keep forgetting you're an outlier.
Not a whole lot of kids wandering around in these markets, and the ones who are not nearly so finely dressed as Mr. Riley.
Oh well, gotta look fancy for the part, right?
Precisely so, precisely so. Now, I take it that, well, I assume that the Redburns are the ones who supplied you with that fairly substantial amount of money. Is that the limit of their largesse towards you, or do you have other potential things to barter or trade with?
Sorry, what is he implying? Do I only have money or do I have other?
I think he's saying, like, is that all the money you have?
Well, he's asking, is that the limit of what you can potentially bring to trade? So yeah, he could mean, do you have more money lying in wait? Do you have like magical items that you could give me in exchange for other things? He's asking for, what assets you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, for now, because I don't know what you have to offer.
All right, fair enough. He pushes the large book back on the table, revealing a small screen, which appears to be made from some sort of illusion magic. He gestures for you two to lean forward and sort of examine it. He says, just click the right or left button and it'll give you a description of the item in question. We can discuss price after you've decided which ones you feel might be useful for yourselves.
Riley, very excited, starts just like reading every sentence he can, and then just like clicking next. And if Eris is not because are you saying this is basically like Like a directory type thing where it's kind of like going through what he has available,
It is a catalog.
or a
Correct.
catalog rather. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Riley's just like reading through it, like be like, "Oh, that's so cool," and then clicking, and like, "Oh, that's even cooler," and then clicking, and he's just like going through.
We're
Yeah.
both just oohing and ahhing and
Yeah.
all this stuff.
He says, of course, the attunement process is included in the price. I will be helping you with whatever items you decide to choose there. How familiar, I know you're Outworlders, how familiar are you with the enchanting process and the attunement process?
As much as I would love to pretend I do, I'm not too caught up on that one, Miss Eris.
Yeah, no. I guess this is
That's
good.
quite all right. Essentially, these items, they already have runes inscribed and various enchantments delivered inside of them. However, those enchantments can only be used by a person who has some sort of bond with the item, usually formed through connecting via mana. This bonding process is really what you're paying for, as without it, these magical items, which might be formidable in the hands of one who's attuned to them, are essentially useless otherwise. The bonding process is unique depending on the item, requiring different materials and goods, and it is often very tricky in order to do correctly and safely. That is the primary thing that you'll be paying for. The runes inscribed on the items are worth a fair amount as well, and the enchantments inscribed in them, but the bonding process is what makes the whole thing work. So that is essentially what you'll be paying for.
Hudson, what items am I looking at?
What items is Eris interested in?
Oh shit. I'm not feeling too picky, really. I don't know, anything that would help her magic be stronger, I suppose.
Okay. You can make an investigation check.
Specifically her attack power to be stronger, if that makes any. What kind of check? Shit.
Investigation.
While she's kind of, I guess, digging through the items,
Oh my god, she doesn't roll low.
she really doesn't.
But yeah, what were you gonna say, Riley?
I was gonna say I'm just kind of talking to him about magical items and trying to understand and gain knowledge and the good old like, oh, are there like magic items that can make you smarter? Like, is that a thing?
He nods and says, a bit of a simplification, as they don't directly make you smarter, as you say there, but there are things that can enhance your processing speeds and provide a bit of assistance in certain tasks that would otherwise take a fair amount of intellect.
Cool.
I'll say, Eris, you do find a few things that you might find useful. There is a Pearl of Power. And if you want to write these down so you can come back to them later, there is a Pearl of Power. Let's see here. Trying to think of what else might be useful for you.
Yeah, don't give me a second. I'm trying to open up my Word document.
Oh, okay.
Take your time over there. Oop. Open.
This is like the perfect music for this moment. I love it. Do 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 do.
It's the sneaky music.
Because we're being sneaky.
It's got like a magic stealth to it. I was like, I can keep asking him questions if she's doing
Yeah,
stuff.
Eris
keep
is
going.
investigating the catalog.
While she's going, I guess I just kind of keep chatting him up. I'm like, oh, well, seeing as you kind of already know who we are anyway, how does y'all's like legal system work? The guy that illegally summoned us is obviously in some trouble, and I don't think it's completely fair, but I don't really know how everything works here.
Well, I'd heard that he'd been arrested. I can't say I really kept tabs on him after that. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's difficult for me to describe our legal system without knowing exactly what yours is. People commit crimes, they go to jail. There's a trial, of course, a jury of their peers. Um, they're provided with a barrister, and the state provides a prosecuting individual. Um, a judge, also appointed by the state, will preside over the whole thing. Is that how it works in your land? If not, I can go into a bit more detail, I suppose.
No, yeah, that actually sounds pretty darn close. How fast are these trials typically? We're wanting to possibly help and testify, but we don't know how long we're gonna be here and all that kind of stuff.
Trials don't take fairly. The lengthy period is the discovery of evidence. Once that's concluded, though, the trial tends to proceed fairly quickly. I'd say no more than a day or two for the vast majority.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not bad at all, actually. That's good. That's good to know.
I got I
Yeah,
got
go
the
ahead.
document open. Pearl of Power.
Uh, Pearl power, correct. And that's something that is an actual like vanilla 5e item where you can store a spell slot up to third level, I believe.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
So yeah, it's basically another free spell slot. Um,
Okay.
Other custom items are a +2 to charisma amulet.
Damn, I feel like it's the persuasion jacket all over again.
Yeah, spell power.
Excuse me.
There is a staff of the mage, um, which has an attack. It allows you to deal a little bit more damage when you hit with something. Um, it has like charges. I can go into more detail if need be, but
It raises the damage of spells.
no. It on any hit, on a spell attack hit, on anything that requires a hit, you can expend charges, and it deals an extra D4 per charge spent.
Oh,
Well, that's nice. You
So
just amp a spell a little
okay.
bit.
right. Um, let's
What about anything armor-wise?
Yep, they have a fair amount of armor available as well. Is there anything in particular you're looking for with the armor?
Mm, uh, I don't know. I'm just trying to like maybe something to protect myself if I get like cornered by a melee hitter is kind of what I'm thinking of. Or,
Okay.
add protection at
You
least.
could get robes of the wind, which provides quite a few benefits. But the first thing is it allows you to gain a fly speed as a bonus action for one turn, basically.
Oh, that's sick.
So you can potentially
Like
fly away.
fly away? How does that work?
You activate the robes, and it allows you to fly for one turn, basically.
Oh, wow.
It has other benefits too, but that's sort of the main thing.
What's
And like getting
what's the movement with the flying?
50 feet of fly speed.
50 feet? Oh, that sounds sweet.
It's only once per long rest, but I mean,
Okay. I mean, that's still pretty good.
yeah. In terms of getting away from things, that's kind of your limit on that one. They don't have a lot of things that specialize in that.
Is there anything that kind of protects me from physical damage?
Physical damage. No, I think that yeah, there are a lot of resistances to elemental damages. Actually, yeah, the robes of the mage, it does give you some temp HP, which would be helpful, I suppose, for you, and a free shield spell, basically. So yeah, in terms of defending yourself from physical damage, that'd probably be worthwhile.
Okay. Alright, I'm good with these options. Does Riley have more questions you want to ask?
I have 3 specific things I want to ask him.
Yeah, go ahead while I look at my options.
Okay. Yeah, I guess chatting him up, and if he Riley is paying careful attention. If he starts to show like any annoyance towards me, I will back off pretty quickly. So Riley's being like pretty attentive to like not upset him or be annoying or anything like that, because he knows as a child in this situation it can definitely come off that way. Okay.
And we'll use this for the coming conversation here.
He's trying very hard to. Oh, fuck off. Okay. I mean, it's not the worst roll, not the best roll.
Yeah, this guy, you get the sense he's very skilled at hiding his emotions, as he is,
Okay. Hopefully that means he won't. Hopefully that means he won't pop then. Won't get too upset. Okay, yeah. My kind of final 3 things I wanted to ask. I want to go. Oh, by the way, have you do you play or know of Emperor's Gambit?
I'm aware of it. No, I don't bother with things like that usually.
Oh well, never mind then. I just got 2 more questions for you. One, when it comes to like keys and stuff in this world, because everything's magic.
He puts up 1 finger.
Like as if like stop talking.
Yeah.
Okay, I stop and I just stare at him.
I have no issue with the exchange of information, but it does need to be an exchange. I will answer your questions, and for each of your questions, I expect an answer in return for my questions.
Ooh.
Okay. I look at him, knowing this is a bit of a dangerous game. But I say, okay, that is fine. That being said, is there a way we can ensure that we're both telling each other the truth, since we're trying to both give each other information, possibly?
He grins and says, I may or may not have a very illegal spell placed under the carpet there that you're standing on. I can activate it, and I will stand on it as well. I don't know if you'll know. I could be lying. You are not the owner of the spell, so you won't know if I've succeeded in resisting it or not. But, well, I'll know that you're telling the truth at least.
Oh, okay. I stare at him for a while and resist the urge to get into my thinking pose. As I go, I'm going to be honest. While I would love to ask you questions, I think it's fair to say that this feels a bit ominous. Like this may get me into a little more trouble than it's worth. And I'm trying to very, very carefully pay attention. I know this is probably just an inside check, but paying attention to how he responds to that question to see if like I say this and it seems like there is evil intent. Like he kind of like gives an evil smile or something when I say this.
Okay.
I also rolled a 6, so it's
make
fine.
One more insight.
Okay, I was gonna say if you want to give me my 6, I'm okay with that because
Roll high.
this is better.
With a 10, again, this guy is pretty good at keeping a straight face.
Fair enough. What does he say in response?
He says, "I'm not really sure what you mean by that. You guys came looking for me. I will say, if you don't trust an individual like myself, you should not be here. The bonding process requires a lot of trust. If I wanted to, I could. Well, the bonding process puts you in a very vulnerable state. If you don't trust me to help you with it, there's no point in discussing this." And he's directing this partially towards Riley and partially towards Eris. Eris is the one who's looking through the catalog.
Yeah. I just look at him and say, I think there is a difference between trust and intent. Because while I do think that you actually, I believe to be quite trustworthy in most of your words, I have such little knowledge of how this world works that it feels like such a dangerous game to start messing with allowing random spells and such. It's nothing against you, but rather my lack of knowledge.
That's fair. Again, I don't insist that you do that. I was perfectly willing to let things go along as they were, but you intended to. You were saying that you wanted to make sure that I was telling the truth, and that is the only method that I'm aware to ensure that.
Yes, and I figured, and while I don't think we would lie to each other, to be honest, I don't want to put myself in a situation where you ask some question that I don't want to tell you the answer to, and then we might get stuck in a bit of a pickle. Does he know what a pickle is?
He frowns and shrugs. He says, my offer still stands. I'm willing to answer questions, but in exchange, I would want questions answered in return. And obviously, if you choose not to answer a question, that's fine. It's just that I won't answer any other questions that you may have afterwards.
That's fair. Let me
Yeah,
let me
that's kind
think
of a
about it.
solid deal. Why? What do you even got to hide, kid?
Yeah, I looked here and go, well, not that we necessarily have much to hide because he seemingly knows who we are, but I mean, I don't know what we do know, if that makes sense. What if there's a secret about the family that we don't even realize we know?
Yeah, well, it's not like he's gonna force you to answer it, so just think about it. It's a kind of fair deal, especially if you want your questions answered.
Yeah, I know. And I will walk off examining the books, really just processing, just thinking for now.
Mm. So, my dude, you're big on knowledge, huh? Do you accept knowledge as a form of payment?
Potentially, yes, depending on the nature of the knowledge. If it's
Uh,
valuable, then of course.
You guys know about nuclear radiation here?
That's so funny.
You
'Cause
frown.
let me tell you, my world has plenty of that.
I'm not really certain. I haven't. I know what both of those words mean, but I'm not. I've never heard them combined. I don't know what that term refers to. Is this particularly valuable knowledge for me?
You're gonna teach my man how to make a nuke?
I mean, especially since this world has magic, most likely. It's most likely valuable. Could probably build yourself a nuke a lot faster than my world ever
you're
could.
actually teaching him what a nuke is. That's crazy.
Hey, quiet back there.
What is a nuke?
Eris will give a very, simplistic definition. Not giving away too much information, but, hazing a little bit with what a nuke is.
So are you giving him the fact that it's a giant explosive?
You know what? Sure. Full sail.
Okay. He looks skeptical. He says, to be honest, I've heard of outworlder weapons before. For example, there was a large attempt to use something called gunpowder a few years back in a replacement to our current firearm system. We don't have access to the same resources, and things don't work quite the same, I think, in the way those things interact with each other. I'd have to learn quite a bit more about this nuke before I could make any determination as to whether or not it's actually something that is anything more than knowledge from another world that can only be useful in that other world.
I guess from a different angle, could I tell him one of the uses of radiation, like X-rays? Just like a little snippet of that information? See if that's a little more useful to him.
You can make an intelligence check. Because I'm kind of skeptical as to like how much technical detail Eris knows.
Harris knows about an X-ray.
Yeah, that's fair.
Listen,
Yeah, I
Eris
guess
was
I
taking
didn't.
some
Yeah,
fat
I guess
X-rays.
I didn't really think that through. That was more of a me than an Eris thing. Intelligence check. Okay.
God
Wow.
bless, dude. Can you give me your dice, please?
Damn!
Can I have your
Um,
dice? Oh,
Okay. He says, I see. This actually does sound somewhat familiar. There are different types of magic, I believe, that can only be perceived at certain levels of perception. This X-ray you described might be one of those things. If you were able to build some sort of device that emitted such rays, I suppose we could talk. But mere knowledge of it would not be of particular value to me.
Right. Eris immediately stares at Riley.
Having walked back over, I go, well, I've never really made an X-ray machine before. I mean, I kind of understand the concept behind them, but it would probably take quite a bit of time for me to get that one down.
All right, that's fair.
Are you going to go through the question thing, or do I need to hurry up and make a decision?
I look to the mage and go, well, I do have a kind of some information that I deem pretty important to how I go about some future decisions. So I suppose I'm willing to make this deal, and I can, obviously answer some questions in return.
Perfect. Well, it's only polite to let the guest go first. What's your first question?
Well, thank you. It's kind of surrounding the prison, and again, I don't understand y'all's systems completely, and I really don't feel like he was rightfully incarcerated. When it comes to prison breakouts per se, one, do those happen often, and two, when it comes to like their keys or anything of that nature that would be used for something like that, are those magically tracked or anything of that nature would be pretty easy to steal and use? Or not that I think I'm capable of any of this, but I just don't think he should rot in prison.
I wasn't going to say anything, but Kevin's a little meaner than I am. He replies, he says, well, those were sort of a couple of questions, but I'll say they were all in the same vein, so I won't be picky here. Prison breaks are not common, and when they do occur, they occur in large numbers. The reason for this, and also to answer your questions about keys, no, the keys are not magical in nature, they're purely physical. In fact, the security at such prisons is usually not terribly high. The reason for this is that the Church of Catris assists in tracking down escaped prisoners. And they have a large amount of divination magic given from their goddess Catris.
I see.
It doesn't take them terribly long to find escaped prisoners. There are, I suppose, some exceptions to this. There's a high security prison, but very few people are sent there, so we don't need to get into a discussion about that.
No, that's honestly that was helpful enough. Knowing all that definitely kind of removes that idea probably from my brain in particular.
Yeah. Also, not to kill the vibe, kid, but I doubt Philip would willingly go with us if we did break him out. He seems like the too honest for his own good type.
I know, it's one of those things where I wanted to give him the option, but it's fair enough. Alright, well, Mr. Mage, what do you got for me?
Well, I did have a certain question in mind, but hearing your first question has actually changed my own. You're talking about prison breaks and obviously highly illegal activity. It is clear that, you may, I'm sure, are both perfectly good and fine individuals. You have no particular issue breaking the law. My first question in that case is, would you be interested in meeting with someone about a job of a not entirely legal nature?
You just telling this to Riley or both of us?
I guess, who is he talking to right now? Because this will be important for Riley's response.
As Riley's sort of looking at Eris and wondering if he says, it would need to be your whole group, both you two and the other two that I heard mentioned in the newspaper. It's a 4-man job.
Yeah, I kind of look back to him and immediately go, well, I don't know about her, but Frankly, I'm really only willing to break a law if I feel it's justified to break said law. At least right now, I'm not really trying to go just doing a bunch of possibly bad things.
Don't be such a party pooper. How much is the offer and what's the job?
I can't get into the details of the job. It's to be clear, this job does not involve me directly, but I know someone who has been looking for Outworlders to perform this particular act. Um, the payment, though, is fairly substantial. 4,000 gold coins. And in addition, he looks over at Riley. The individuals I'm speaking of, it would be an easy matter for them to make sure that Philip's trial goes the right way.
Ooh, Eris nudges Riley like, see, look at that. Breaking the law can be useful.
Ew, okay. This does catch my attention. And you see me kind of like go to start talking, but stop myself and kind of recenter. And then again, very calmly, while I do appreciate the sentiment, again, I'm really not trying to look to break laws. I understand how the last question sounded and what it implied, but it's truly because I feel he is wrongfully imprisoned. It's I'm not looking to running around breaking too many rules.
You gotta be able to give us more details. I mean, come on, what's the severity of the laws we're breaking?
Well, I would hate to betray the person I have this information from too badly here, but I suppose since the nature and the severity of the laws is such a concern for you, there is a certain item that is being uselessly kept away in a very rich person's collection of useless, valuable items. And this item would be very useful for the person giving the job. And he wants some individuals to go and take it for him.
See, we're not murdering someone.
Yeah, right. Riley gets kind of uneasy though. Yeah, I just I don't know how I feel about just robbing people.
Uh-huh.
He shrugs. He says, well, like I said, it was worth a shot. If you change your mind and perhaps you can discuss it with your other individuals in your group and see how they feel. I will say, again, the individual that you be robbing is not going to... Well, they might get angry about this item being stolen, but it is not anything that they need in their day-to-day lives.
Pretty solid offer, kid.
In any case, think on it. Do you have any other questions for myself?
No, I mean that's it from me. Have you found anything of interest to you? Kind of looking towards Eris.
Yeah, I've narrowed it down to 3 items, and I would appreciate if you could give me a price for both so I could compare and see which one's worth getting. How much is the Pearl of Power and the amulet?
He narrows his gaze at you. He says, it's difficult for me to say. I'm going to need to get a fairly intimate sense of your mana. If you could lower your guards for a moment.
Oh, God. I don't like the way you worded that. Okay. I'm also interested in the ropes of wind, if that matters at all, but... Okay, fine. What do you need me to do? Just stand here and not put up a fight?
I'm going to reach out towards you. I just need you not to block me.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
I kind of step back, not
You're
knowing
smart,
what's
kid.
going to happen.
He closes his eyes and raises a hand towards Eris. You see a sort of a purplish aura around Eris for a moment. Eris, you can make a wisdom save if you would like.
One of these days, I just want to do that and find out what happens.
I mean, hey, this is now a solo heir's choice. You have no one else influencing you. This is just a
Yeah,
you
but
call.
like, what would be the point? I'm trying to get cool shit. I
That's
do
fair.
not make the wisdom
Valid.
save.
Valid.
Good advantage on this roll then. Okay.
Good rules.
Yeah. He withdraws and the purple aura fades. He says, "All right. With that, I sense that your charisma is already quite high, which means that the bonding process for the amulet is going to be much more difficult and require much more valuable resources in order to accomplish.
All right.
It would be possible. Nothing's impossible with enough time and effort and money. But it would probably take. I would not be willing to do it for less than 4,500 gold.
Oh.
Christ.
Wait, he said 4,500?
Oh, God.
God
Yeah, all right.
damn.
What about the Pearl of Power and Robes of Wind?
The Pearl of Power, similarly, it would be fairly difficult. I'd be willing to do it for 2,000 gold pieces. The Robes of Wind would also be fairly difficult. I would be willing to do it for probably around 2,500. I'd be a little bit more flexible on that, though. If we could come to some sort of other arrangement, I'd be more willing to hear you out on that one than the other two.
Hold on, I'm typing down the prices. Okay, so fuck the amulet, huh? All right. What other possible arrangements are you speaking of when we're talking about the Robes of Wind?
I would be interested to hear about your group's adventures with the Redburns. If you'd be willing to tell me about presumably whatever mission you were contracted to do, I might be willing to mark off a few hundred gold pieces.
Hold on, let me look at how much fucking gold do I have? Okay.
This is
10,
going to
okay.
be a
Well-
big moment into how Riley feels about Ares. How
I'm
she
okay
answers
with
this
that, but I
question.
do have to speak to my fucking group, because I imagine they will nag me if
Okay.
I say shit without asking them
Okay.
first.
He nods. He says, "No rush. I look forward to a long and fruitful relationship with you and your party."
And if we did, okay, let's say I was able to tell you all our adventures, whatever, and I chose the Pearl of Power instead. Would the same rule apply to that one? Could we lower the price on that one too, or is this only the Robes of Wind?
I'm only willing to debate on the Robes of Wind. The reason being that there are plenty of other individuals who I suspect I will not have the Pearl of Power in about a month or two, but the Robes of Wind is a less popular item. It will take a while for me to get it off my shelves.
All right. Well, I guess I'll get back to you then.
Certainly. Have a nice day.
You as well. Come on, kiddo.
Yes, thank you for answering my questions, Mr. Mage.
All right. With that, we can go over to Ray and Rose, who've been waiting so patiently. What would you guys like to do for the day? And unless you guys have like specific things you want to do, you can just describe like generally what you're interested in doing.
Yeah, gathering information about kind of the best locales to play at and getting a good read for the crowds that tip the most, while also maintaining a fairly high, like, what's it called? Like, popularity. Like if there's a specific tavern where like scouts go to, I guess, to like scout talent.
All right. We'll start with this. Go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage as you're going around, like talking to people individually and trying to get this information.
It's a good thing Ray's cute.
Yeah,
Okay.
high rolls
With a
from everyone except Riley.
27.
Fucking usual.
I'll say you get a fair amount of information. You talk up a number of different people at various taverns and inns who invest in bands or allow people to play at night in particular. All right, so let's go through those things one by one. First of all, if you're just interested in making money, uh, there are people in the Heart and Diamond District, sort of high class clubs that like hire out musicians, and that is like a steady salary that is like really pretty decently high paying. However, it would not be to large crowds. It'd be to like like swanky like small groups of very rich individuals. Um, Outside of that, in terms of money, uh, also with 27, you are directed towards there's some people say like, oh well, it sounds like you're wanting to get involved in the performing arts college then. Um, and it is described to you in here. Let me pull up the information on this real quick. Um, bu- 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 Sabaline Productions. They sponsor and fund um, a oh sorry, it's the Eklund Arts and Humanities College, and they put out performances at larger venues, and they also help participate in the various they call them illusion crystal productions, which is essentially TV except with illusion magic. Um, the Eklund Grand Theater is the largest and most prestigious venue available to musicians. Um, it does require the permission of the director there, Director Teague, to perform there, though. I'll say you also do get a fair amount of like there are obviously a lot of clubs in the club district where you could play at and get a decent amount of money depending on how well you perform. But they would basically always be smaller venues. The only real concert hall, so to speak, is the Eklund Grand Theater. Um, yeah. I think that I answered all your questions, or was there anything else?
No, that's good. Yeah, I would do whatever gets me closer to playing in the Grand Theater, so presumably the college?
Oh, you asked about potential. All right, so you could go directly to the college and sort of ask around there. However, with a 27, you do get information that talent scouts do often come to a number of sort of seedy, like downtown locations, um, where they apparently they try to scout out new talent before the new talent becomes known. So you do get the names of a few sort of seedy bars where these individuals come to occasionally. So that would be an option, or you could go directly there since you are aware of it now as well.
I would go to the college. I think that's my best shot of getting into the Grand Theater.
Okay. All right. Pull that up then. Um, okay. So you find yourself in a small campus in the middle of the club district. It's they do their best to keep some like actual green stuff around, but it is fairly sparse, somewhat similar to the surrounding buildings. Um, I'll say you can go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage since Ray is helping you.
That's Rose helping.
Or Rose is helping Ray. Okay, you ask around and get some information here. Unfortunately, like just talking with people isn't quite as valuable here and like persuading them to help you. There is a fair amount of bureaucracy that you quickly find is involved in the college. You need to be enrolled, you need to have taken certain classes, things like that, like a standard college. You get the sense that the college route is possible. However, it would take a fair amount of time.
I
Or
get
some way to bypass the bureaucracy.
pretty quickly. I get tired of the bureaucracy, and I will just play at the places where like scouts are known to be at.
Okay. I'll say that afternoon, evening, and night then, is that would have taken you sort of half the day. what style is Rose going for right now? Like, is she using her electric guitar? Is she using like the instruments that are like at the places?
She is pretty versatile in everything, but yeah, I would say she would be using kind of a variety of instruments because she wants to teach Ray how to use the instruments as well. Obviously, predominantly using the electric guitar, but she would not shy away from other instruments just to teach Ray how to use them.
Okay. Um, sure. Yeah, I want to have you roll a check for that. You do find, similarly to how when Virgil demonstrated the techniques of bodyguarding to Ray, she picks up almost frighteningly quickly on the instruments that are involved here. Um, Part of it is just the fact that her muscles are stronger than a normal individual's, and her skin is much harder to break. So she doesn't have to get like calluses or anything like that. In addition, whenever you like demonstrate something to her, she seems to be able to pick up on it pretty much immediately. Sometimes she needs like a little bit of like if she isn't able to fully observe what you're doing, she needs a little bit of help. But for the most part, you find that she is able to pick up proficiency with new instruments at a frightening speed. I'll say go ahead and make a performance check with advantage since Ray is helping you. Okay. And I will roll as well. Okay. So towards the end of one of your performances at so the late night right before you head back to the inn to go to bed, you do notice an individual sort of sneak out the back of the bar that you're playing at. They were observing you pretty closely. In particular, they seemed very interested when you had your electric guitar out and was playing your electric guitar. And they were like taking notes, it appeared, in some sort of notepad. But the night goes fairly well for you. You can add 7 gold to your inventory from playing at these not quite as well, lower class is maybe a harsh word, but a not quite as lucrative venues. The rest of the day, though, what would Riley and Eris like to be doing?
Riley would like to head back to where they know and get away from this place.
Yeah, we should probably get out of here.
Okay. You guys can both make perception checks.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a feeling something was coming. Something was a brewing. Oh my god, I can roll high.
Oh, good, because I've been rolling too high, and I'm worried that I'm about to roll real low.
Yeah, so we'll just cover. Yeah, look at that. We'll just cover each other. We'll just cover each other.
There
This is
we
easy.
go! Teamwork makes the dream work!
The dynamic duo of of Eris and Riley.
Yeah, Eris is like looking at butterflies. Off the distance. Riley, however, you do notice a pair of eyes watching you, and literally, I probably would not have accepted anything other than nat 20 for this.
Love it.
Nice.
You see an individual in gray robes looking at you from a shadowy corner. He meets your gaze.
Oh, fuck.
Gives you a nod of like acknowledgement that you managed to spot him.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, what kind of nod are we talking here?
Yeah, an acknowledgement that you managed to spot him, despite him clearly being a very stealthy individual.
Okay.
He gives you that small nod and then disappears apparently into the wall in which he was standing in front of.
Woohoo!
Like, he literally goes into the wall, or are you saying, like, behind the corner?
He appears to go into the wall.
Oh, he does literally goes in the wall? Fuck off. Okay, when I got this nod of acknowledgement, and maybe I gotta insight this again, but was it the respectful type vibe of like, hey, good shit? Or was it like a, hey, you're fucking lucky you saw me this time? Because like there's 2 different ways to like acknowledge me spotting him.
You can make an insight check with disadvantage.
Alright,
So
fair
roll
enough.
another 20. Oh, with disadvantage.
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, it would be hard for me to like see this.
Yeah, he's in the, you did manage to spot him, but he's in the shadows. His face has a mask over it.
Okay.
You have no idea.
Does it seem like in any form or fashion he was trying to get me to follow him, or no?
With an 8,
Not sure.
what you saw.
Okay. I will just kind of start walking faster, like picking up the pace a little bit, going from what was probably like a pretty like leisurely walk, to like the fast paced, right below a power walk, I'd say.
Okay.
Trying to get out of there. Not sure what that entailed.
Oh, where are you going with your tiny legs, kid?
Yeah.
What's the rush?
I don't even turn back. As she says this, though, I do slow down my pace, kind of calming myself, realizing I don't want to draw attention after that. I go, I think someone was following us. Just let's keep walking. And again, I say this like looking straight forward, slowing down, calming myself after she says this. I'm trying to be a little more casual.
Eris, not sneakily at all, looks over her shoulder.
Like, he didn't point where, so you have no idea where to look.
Yeah, that's fair. She's still just looking like, huh? What? Where?
Just keep walking, Eris.
Seems normal to Eris. You know, it's a sketchy place, but it always was.
So you said it was a figure, gray robes. Did I get any kind of details, like height-ish? Like tall, short, kind of average?
Average.
Average, okay.
In any case, you do get out of the pipes and the black market, which it contains, without issue, or other issue, maybe I should say. What would you guys like to do with the rest of your day?
I will look to Eris and go, well, you can join me if you want, but I'm going to head to the store where I got my game at and see if anyone's playing. I would like to make some money myself. I know Rose is probably out there doing her thing, and I need to be sure I'm ready for this tournament. I want to prove myself, at least in something I know I'm good at.
Sure. Good luck then. I'm gonna go find somewhere to take a bath.
All right, I guess we'll catch up later, and I will go on my merry way.
Okay. So Riley spends the day at the game shop. I will say you're trying to like play the game and make money off of it, or just
so I'm not making money today. No. This is purely like me trying to learn the mechanics. If anyone walks in, especially like a younger kid, I heavily try to like immediately like become friends. Hey, do you like this game? Are you how good are you at it? Do you have any tips, any tricks, any whatever? Learning what the meta of the game is. Doing a combination of possibly creating some friends in this place that play. And then also just trying to learn the game at a higher level than what I know it right now.
Okay. You can start off with a charisma check.
Okay. What about advantage? Because they're my age this time.
Have you met kids that age? They're pretty
Nope.
awful.
Not. Oh, Riley has not. At least not here.
I think kids are the same no matter what world you're in.
10?
With a 10, most people kind of
kids are
give you
easily
the
impressed.
are kind of put off by your eagerness to play the game with them. But you do manage to, I'll say, like you do meet a few people who are willing to play with you. A small group of 2 or 3.
It's fine. Those are the tryhards. That's who I want anyway.
Yeah, you can go to make a tactics check after that.
Intelligence, then tactics, or just tactics?
No, just tactics.
Okay. Let's fucking go, baby.
I won't literally roll for them. I'll say you managed to beat them generally. However, your main focus being learning rather than just winning.
Yes.
You managed to figure out like, okay, well, this strategy it worked well here, but it might not if they did this and that, and like you're really engaging with the mechanics of the game.
I was gonna say, I'm definitely like using strategies that I assume would lose, but like, hey, I'm gonna test this just in case, like just to see if it's like a hidden gem kind of thing. So I would probably lose some.
But in any case, you do make significant progress, and I'll say you have kind of established a small group that you can play with. I'll say the proprietor of the store seems to be okay with this.
Okay.
However, if you start hanging out there like every day, you might need to.
Problem.
Well, either that or you need to like arrange something with him, so that you're not just sitting there in his store all day without like buying anything.
Gotcha. So I do, in kind of seeing his like not super uneasiness, but a little bit like possibly like slight annoyance. Could I talk to my like newfound friends, um, and just ask and be like, hey, like, is there somewhere that y'all like to play regularly or anything like that?
Um, I'll say the answers that you get kind of vary. I'll say two of them, they do actually play in the store most of the time. They do have like tables set up for various games, not just Emperor's Gambit, but a number of different games. And they usually just come to the store and play with different people.
Okay.
One of them is apparently, you get the sense, a much higher class individual.
Okay.
He's a little bit older than you by like a year or two. And he apparently plays at a club in the Diamond District.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and ask as he says this, because knowing that's like the higher class area, I go, "Oh, is this club like a paid, membership type thing, or can anyone come in and play?"
Oh, yeah, you do need to have a membership. Fortunately, my parents are both members.
Gotcha. Well, that's cool. I mean, how much is a membership?
He kind of gives you like a look. He says,
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't know. I don't really pay attention to stuff like that."
Oh, yeah. No, that's gotcha. I mean, yeah, understood.
It's pretty expensive, but I don't really know.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Cool. Well, I mean, thanks. Maybe I can meet you there one day.
Oh, yeah, maybe. In any case, this was fun. You're pretty good for your age.
Oh, thanks. I'm trying to learn. I'm still fairly new to the game.
Well, always happy to teach a beginner. And they leave the store. Noticeably, they did not win the game against you. But they made like a big deal out of like, you know, trying to teach you, quote unquote, afterwards.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I won't say anything to the shop owner. No, Riley would. He's confrontational. I would go over to the shop owner and so I guess I don't know if I need to roll an insight check, but have I noticed that he's kind of like maybe every now and then like we get a little loud or something, and so he gets a little annoyed or something like that?
No, it's more the fact that you're staying there for longer than most people do. Like most people come in, you get the sense for about like 30 minutes to an hour, whereas you're there like most of the day.
Okay, so I was there like the back half of the day. Gotcha. Okay.
And like it's not like there's no rule against like, oh, you can only stay for so long. It's just you're the only one who's been there the whole time.
Gotcha. Okay. Does he have like any cheap candy or stuff in there? Like anything that's like less than a gold piece? Like I'm talking like a piece of bubble gum for like a couple silver or something, or even less.
He doesn't sell any food. I'll say the cheapest stuff you get would be probably for like 2 to 3 silver, various like decks of just normal cards.
That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, it's not really like the sort of store like people
It's
go to the
really
store.
not meant for hanging out. Yeah. Okay. As I'm leaving, I will. Yeah, I'll go up to him and say, "Hey, thanks by the way for giving me the discount. Just out of curiosity, like, is there, the one kid kind of mentioned the club that they play at. That sounded a little higher end. Do you happen to know of somewhere where people play regularly? I don't want to bother your customers too much or anything."
Well, it's not that I mind. It's just that you know, we like to try to have a fair amount of games on display here, not just one particular. And Emperor's Gambit is a little more obscure than some games.
Gotcha.
There is a spot that I know of. I wouldn't really recommend it for someone of your age. If you like, and he sort of gestures to what appears to be like sort of a bulletin board, sort of at the edge of the shop near the entrance.
Okay.
He says, I let people put up posters there for events and things of that nature. You can see, and he sort of points to the tournament notices up there even now. But if you're just looking for people to play with, maybe you could arrange your own venue at like an inn or a restaurant or someplace like that.
Yeah, of course. And I kind of turn around to start walking, and I turn back around and go, oh, one last thing. And has it been just him working this store the whole time, like every time I've been in there?
Yes.
Okay. Um, I I know I'm pretty young, but I don't know if maybe you're hiring or something like that for a little bit, and even maybe not like a full-time job. Do you have any like oddball jobs around here? I mean, I like to think I'm pretty smart. I could help with different things.
You can make a persuasion check.
All right.
Boys trying to fight them child labor laws.
Yeah. Let's go, baby. All right. Thank God. I'm so happy I rolled high on that.
Okay, with an unnat 20, he does frown at first and he says, how old are you again?
Oh, well, I mean, technically 11, but I am legally seen as an adult by the state.
His eyes widen and he like searches your face to like see if you're lying or not. But quickly realizing that Riley's not the sort to lie about something like that, he says, "Well, that is a very unusual situation. I've heard of emancipated minors, but usually not as young as 11. Boy."
I give
But
kind of a little grin. I'm like, well, what can I say?
if that's the case, then well, to be honest, this shop has been my dream ever since I was an apprentice way back when. I've kind of kept it up and running myself for the most part, but keeping everything in stock and keeping track of all the books and notes and things like that does get to be a bit much. I'll tell you what. I'd be willing to pay. How would you feel about 3 hours per day, and we can discuss from there? I'd be willing to give you. He sort of like frowns and like calculates it out in his head for a moment. He says, "How's about 2 silver per hour? That sound fair?"
Fuck, dude, I don't know if that's normal pay or not. Oh no. Um, I. Okay, and he said 3 hours a day at two
2 silver.
silver. Okay, hold on,
How
let me
many
math this
silvers
out.
make a
That is
gold?
not
10?
enough. Okay. I look at him and smile and go, well, I appreciate it, but if you don't mind a counter offer, would you be willing to maybe just get my entry into the tournament and we call it a deal? How much was the entry again, by the way? It was like multiple gold, right?
Yes, I believe I said it was 20.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. That's what I remembered as well. That would not be 20 gold by the end of that.
Um,
And if he kind of hesitates to answer, I stop and I go, I can even cut you a portion when I win. We can work out details later if you want.
uh, I'll say, yeah, I'll let you keep the unnat 20.
Thank God.
He nods slowly. He says, well, all right, I suppose I confront your entry into the tournament. I did see you playing with those individuals early, and you do seem to be picking up the game quite quickly. Um, Maybe there's even a shot that you win. Uh, all right. We'll say 3 hours per day, as we agreed, and on the 15th, I will give you I'll give you 20 gold pieces so that you can enter into the tournament.
Yeah, sounds like a deal. And I go ahead and put my hand out very excitedly.
Sure, deal. He reaches out, shakes your hand. He says, do mornings or evenings work better for you? Or mornings or afternoons, rather?
Oh, really either. I am a pretty early riser though. So I mean, whichever the store gets busiest.
Mornings are best for me. That's when I want to do the stalking and things like that I prefer that you do.
Well, perfect. I'll be here with. And I kind of look at him like expecting a time.
He shrugs. He says, well, this is sort of a new thing for me. I don't have like a particular schedule. I'd say 8 a.m. if you're an early riser and you don't mind that hour, or 9 a.m. would be fine too.
Oh, 8 is perfectly fine with me. And I immediately just start walking out of the store very excitedly. And thank you. And what did we call him? Because I know it was like an adjective. It wasn't even a real name.
The animated Ekman.
Animated, that right. I go, oh well. Yes, of course. I will be here 8 a.m. on the dot. Thank you, Mr. Animated. As I go to walk out.
He waves animatedly goodbye. Eris was looking for a bath, I guess.
Yeah, trying to get clean.
Okay. Well, they do have the public stations that use magic to clean individuals. However, there are a number of bathhouses, but they do cost entry fees to get into.
Ugh, how much is the entry fee?
It would, let's see, it'd be 5 silver, I think, for like a standard one. More, it'd be like double that for like a really good one. Half that for like kind of a sketchy one.
Yeah, sure, I'll pay the 5 silver.
Okay. You can mark off the 5 silver as Eris spends some time getting clean in a fairly nice, steamy bathhouse.
What the hell's going on over there, Riley?
That's how much silver I would have gotten. I'm mathing it out.
And that is where the day ends. And you guys can consider what you'd like to do on the following day. However, there is a note that is slipped under Eris's door.
Oh, thank God it's not Riley's. Riley would have shit himself. Oh, I would, by the way, once I get back, relay the information to, actually, do we see Rose at night or no? Is she coming in pretty late?
She would probably be coming in pretty late, because the most popular playing hours are when you probably be trying to get.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, then I will tell Eris about.
Go to the bathroom real quick, but you guys can do whatever you'd like to do in the meantime.
Okay. I will tell Eris about the creepy man that was following, that was average height in a gray cloak, and not knowing when Miss Rose will appear. I will slip her this note as well. Yeah, and then at the end of the note, I'll just say, basically, I'd really like to have a bit of a team meeting with everyone.
You slip a note to under Rose's door?
Rose's door, yeah. Me and you will
Okay.
converse this before we go to bed, because I'm assuming you're not staying out till wee hours of the morning. I mean, unless you are, in which case, I will slip a note under both of your doors.
A mutual enemy hired an up-and-coming insider to rough up Miss Eris and take her money.
That sounds about right.
They purchased a sleeping poison.
All right, I am back.
Oh, that's fun.
How does Rose?
That note slipped under Eris's door.
Wow, how nice of them to warn me. Who
would,
did I befriend?
would
without
Rose
knowing?
agree to meet for lunch the next day?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. And I mean, Eris, are you agreeing? This would have been before we went to bed, so this is before we know about your note and everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Riley can go to his shift and then come back for lunch. He's a working man, baby.
Later that day, I suppose.
Sideways again.
Sideways Eris is the best Eris. You guys meet up for lunch, I suppose.
That was Riley's intention with everybody.
I mean, it's up to you guys what you like to do.
Okay.
I will say for Rose and Ray, the optimal playing hours are usually afternoon onwards. So you do have kind of your mornings free unless you're looking for more information or things of that nature.
In the times we aren't playing, I'm trying to meditate with Ray to see where she comes from. In a similar way that like the storm thing reached out, or we reached out to the storm thing, seeing if something
answers our call, I guess.
Okay. If you continue that, we may make some rolls for it.
Mm.
In any case, you guys all arrive at lunch. Riley having completed his shift. The animated guy does take it pretty easy on you your first day. He kind of like is just showing you the ropes and things like that, showing you how to stock the shelves, and things of that nature. Fairly simple stuff for Riley.
Okay. Do I get a uniform or anything?
I'll say he does give you like basically just amounts to like a large apron. He doesn't have like an official uniform since it's just him working normally.
That's enough. I'd be so pumped.
But yeah, it goes fairly well. Like I said, it is a fairly simple job for Riley.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, having come back together, I look at everyone at the table, getting very serious. I'm like, okay, we need to figure out a few things and discuss a few things. For one, I don't, we haven't gotten a chance to talk to you about it, Rose, but we went to Eris's special area, and yeah, frankly, what'd she say?
The safe and legal area, yes.
Yes, yeah, that one. Frankly, it opened my eyes a little bit, and I don't like that route personally. Eris may feel otherwise. Originally, I was definitely under the influence of, possibly doing certain things, but I don't like the people or person we met, rather, and I do want it noted that someone was following me and Eris. I mean, kind of. They didn't, follow us all the way home. I was keeping an eye, but they did look at us weirdly, so it's noted. Also, Miss Rose, I don't know if you've found this with anyone else, but people have heard of our story, because this guy that we saw pretty much knew who we were immediately, without us telling him anything at all, so probably something to keep in mind. Yeah, but besides that, that's about it. I am more willing now, if we can get some news on the trial, and I would like to kind of compete in my tournament, but after that, I'm more than okay with leaving this place, as I'm not sure how comfortable I am here.
Yeah, definitely. Well, glad you didn't take affinity to those sorts of things. That I'm at least happy about. And yeah, I have my current goal of playing in the biggest theater here. Once I do that, we can move on to my next conquering.
My eyes do widen. You think you can play in the biggest theater?
Oh, it's not a matter of if I can, it's more of how many days does it take to play there.
Oh, that's pretty cool. We do get free tickets, right? And I kind of give you a little, my little puppy dog smile.
I'll try, but it is very grand, so I'm not sure how much leeway I can get. I just want to play in it.
Fair enough. Well, nonetheless, I'd still like to help you with your show, and I need to get on that. I'm actually gonna go work on that after we're done. Anyway, Miss Eris, have you given any more thought to going back there? How do you feel?
Did you guys get anything?
Oh, yeah, we actually got some books for Philip.
I show Rose the absolute raunchy book that I picked out for him. He's gonna love it.
Right.
To be clear,
not this one.
No, Miss Rose, I didn't really like that one. And I will try to reach into her little pouch and reach over and grab the other one.
Yeah, Riley picked out a safer one.
I'll grab it and put it on the table and be like, I felt this might be a safer bet. We can always bring both and see how he feels, I guess.
Okay,
Listen.
good. I didn't want his only literature to be smut when he didn't ask for it.
Yeah, it seemed a bit pushy.
Cool. All right. First question. I could get myself a hefty little discount if I share our adventure story at the Redburn Estate with the shopkeeper. And I figured I'd ask for
Yeah.
permission before I
Riley,
grab.
knowing this was gonna happen, just kind of looks to Rose to see what her initial reaction is. Riley already knows his answer, to be clear.
Right. And what are you trying to buy?
Cool shit. Magical shit.
Is that all I'm getting?
No, I tell you what the robes of wind are.
Oh, that seems fairly cheap for what it does. Regardless, you can share as much information about you as you want, but leave us out of it.
Okay, I'll do that, but we
yeah,
don't care that I share all the information about the Redburns.
Yeah, Riley shifts and goes, I really don't think we should be sharing information about them being just here. I don't know if we want to be so disruptive as to be giving away family information that we're not a part of.
The kid
Okay.
brings up a good point.
Yeah, but I don't particularly care, though, about sharing information about the Redburns.
Yeah, right?
What?
Go ahead.
I'll look over at Riley.
Riley's getting very uncomfortable. As he knows he doesn't get a whole lot of say in things usually, or at least he feels that way. Just being a kid. And just looks to Eris and goes, I mean, I can't stop
Want
you.
to point out though, Eris really doesn't know too much important shit. I mean, Rose and Riley were there for like the tea of all the family trauma. Eris wasn't there for any of that.
Yeah, Riley can acknowledge that. It doesn't change his answer at all.
Yeah, I'll look at Riley and I'll go, all right, maybe it's just a bit too hot at the moment. Riley did get his, I'll put this in a blunt way, he did get his life threatened, more or less. Maybe we shouldn't go on about doing that just yet.
Alright, fine. Alright, moving on. Since this is too hot of a topic for the table right now, Eris slaps down the note in front of everyone.
What's that?
Next thing on the agenda, everyone read up, please.
I mean, Riley will reach to grab it. And,
Go ahead.
all right, I was like, I don't know if Rose reaches first or whatever, but yeah.
I'll let Riley read it first.
Yeah. Riley reads this, and just sets the note on the table and slides it to Rose, looking very concerned.
Eris pats his head.
Right.
Don't worry, think of all the fun traps we can set.
So the less hot topic was this one. I'm scared to know what you guys did, learned, or said.
Okay, no, Miss Rose, I want to be very clear. We really told him almost nothing. He did try to offer us a job, which some of us seemed a little more inclined to take than the others, but I didn't like the idea of it.
Right. Listen, guys. I know we don't know each other too well. And I would like us to stick together. But you can understand from my point of view where not only your lives but our lives, and I look at Ray and point to her, are being affected as well through your choices. Like, you can see where I'm coming from, right? Because you guys went to the super legal safe place, and now Eris is dealing with this, and someone is following us.
I do
What do
look
you want
up.
to do about that?
So Riley is feeling the like I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed vibe, like from Rose here. It's like yeah, I'm sorry. It's just sometimes I forget that this is real life, if that makes sense. I mean, it's magical. It's I'm sorry. I wanted to explore, but I understand now. That was
And that's
was not
okay.
my
I mean,
best
to be
choice.
clear, I was okay, and I gave it a little thought after this was mentioned, and figured you'd make the right choice in not taking affinity to these sorts of things. So I didn't expect the consequences to be this. I'll be honest with you. Regardless, now we will have to deal with it. I will help, obviously. As for whatever the job was, if it's not legal, I'm not doing it.
Oh no, I agree. They were basically, and obviously I'm getting quieter as I say this, knowing people are around. They were basically wanting us to go rob some rich person of some item, and that's genuinely all the details we got. Obviously, they try not to give you too much info until you've accepted the deal.
That makes sense. Like I said, you guys are your own people. Do what you think is necessary, obviously. But a little forethought, because and I'm trying to make this, like Rose is trying to make this sound as nice as possible, without trying to be like too controlling or anything. But I'm trying to make a name for myself, and I would like to bring you guys up with me, and it would be a little difficult if we started, you know. I mean, you understand. I'm not gonna say it. We're in public.
Yeah. I mean, I have a job, so
Oh, that's good.
yeah, I'm.
A legal one?
Yes, ma'am. I'm helping with the. Oh, that's right. Me and Eris stopped by this toy store where I got like my new game, and I talked to the owner, and he will pay for me to play in the tournament as long as I help him.
Oh, okay, that's good. Good lad.
Good lad. Although we should probably figure out what normal payment is, because he said he would give me 2 silver an hour. To which that's why I changed our deal. I don't know how that converts to my old money, but it doesn't seem like a good deal.
I think we'll learn that with experience, unfortunately. I don't think we should be, at least not asking around too much. It gives a lot away.
Agreed. Miss Eris, are you still planning on going to get the magical item? I mean, again, you could maybe just give information about yourself, or maybe even about the dungeon we went into. I mean, I don't know about Miss Rose, but I don't have any problem with you sharing any of that, and that might be useful to him.
Maybe the sharing information about the dungeon fog would work.
As long as my abilities and
Yeah.
us are out
I
of
won't
it.
mention either of you guys, and I'll tell them that up front.
But yeah, I think there's tons of information that, he would probably at least at a minimum find interesting that, don't put others' lives at risk.
Yeah, just, be cautious.
Alright, well. Yeah. First, I need some fucking way to earn money, though, if I want to buy that thing.
You could come work at a toy store with me.
Fuck no.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I just thought maybe.
I'd rather go back to dying of nuclear radiation, kid.
That feels a bit excessive. It's actually he's such a nice guy. He's so animated, really.
Kid, do you think I could sit still in a store for more than 2 hours?
Well, that's the best part. You don't have to sit still. You get to move boxes, and you get to see all the cool new toys and the new games.
I get to move boxes.
Well, yeah, but it's the new toys and the new games. There's so many interesting things. And does he have books in there, by the way, Hudson?
He would have books, mostly like game books, though.
Oh, okay, like D&D handbooks, if you will.
Yeah, basically stuff like that.
He's got these like really cool books for like these interesting games. There's so many
Eris
like cool
just
things
has
to learn
like
about.
this blank look on her face.
Oh yeah, no, Riley keeps explaining, just excitedly.
Like she's zoned out like 30 seconds into the conversation.
I knock on the table. Okay, guys. Listen, love that you got a job.
Love that you're unemployed. You also have more money than the three of us combined, so you know. I
need
don't
food.
want to be the bearer of bad news here. We kind of went over this letter pretty quickly. If we could
Oh,
wrap back around
yeah,
to
no,
the whole thing.
yeah.
Yeah, we-
Riley immediately slumps and goes, "Oh, I forgot about that."
Yeah, you sure did, kid. Alright, cool. So, any ideas for traps?
Rose and Ray, you guys can both make perception checks, or one of you can with advantage. Either way.
Who's got the higher one? Do it with advantage. It's statistically better.
No,
Guidance?
not with Ray, bro.
Okay, maybe with Ray it's not statistically better. Is Riley not percepting this or no? Or is
Riley and Eris are facing the wrong way.
Oh, I see.
Oh, hey, nice.
Oh,
Okay.
you said Rose and Ray. I did not.
I think the three R names do confuse me sometimes. Usually I get it right though, I think. But Rose and Ray, there is an individual who is peeking their head around the corner of the wall here, and is pretty clearly like trying to look at you two, like Rose and Ray in particular.
Oh.
They, as you like notice them, they like put their head back around the corner.
Oh, you
Try
got your
to-
first fan.
I look at you two guys and go, all right. Riley, do you know what the guy that was following us looked like at all?
Well,
he already explained that, didn't he?
yeah, I mean, looks wise, he was kind of average height. He was wearing a mask, so I don't really know face or hair much, but he was wearing gray cloaks. That's pretty much all I got. It was really dark. I don't really know how I saw him to begin with.
Interesting. Okay. And I
Was it a masculine build or a feminine build, Hudson? Or is it too late to know?
Average.
Fuck!
all you get was a guy there, or a person. I look over at Ray and like nod my head a little bit. Well, it either appears I have a a stalker already, or someone is over there.
Can I make... And I don't know if this would be an intelligence check. I'm assuming it's not this guy, because I feel like it'd be crazy for him to just pull up at the end like this.
Sure, you can make an intelligence check.
Okay, I was like, I don't want to like play with that, like, whatever the word I'm looking for is, like meta knowledge, but
It's probably that guy. I mean, he's coming after you, right?
okay, fair enough. Okay, then in that case, I do get a little nervous and go, oh, we gotta figure this. I mean, I guess we have time to figure this note out.
I finish my drink and I go, well, if conversating never hurt anybody, we'll come back to the note in a preferably more private place.
Okay.
Are we all going, or is this just a you thing?
No, I'm moving towards where I saw them.
I was like, I am grabbing the note and sliding it to Eris to give back to her. I
Sure.
guess
You see that there is a woman standing there in the corner. She's literally whistling.
Can I make a insight perception something to see if it's like melodic and or good whistling?
Sure. I'll say that probably be like I'll say a perception check. Yeah, with a 15, yeah, it's not bad by any means. I mean, she's clearly, she's like looking off in the distance as though she hasn't noticed you or Ray.
Excuse me.
Well, madame, I don't believe I've seen the likes of you before. You seem like an interesting character.
She stops whistling and looks over and says, "Oh, hi, yeah, my name's Arlie."
I'm Rose. This is Ray.
Cool. Yeah. Listen, I think I saw you the other night at a bar playing music.
I look back at my guitar and I go, "These." By the way, the electric guitars have not been common at all, have they?
No.
I look back at the guitar and go, I'm pretty noticeable. I think you'd remember me.
Oh yeah, well I did, so I found you. Listen, uh, I think that we could maybe make a deal that works out really well for both of us, but it might be kind of you got to do a really good job and really impress my boss. Do you
Uh,
do
yeah.
that?
Uh, listen, I don't do good jobs. I do the best jobs when it comes to music.
She nods and oh yeah, well I mean that's good. Confidence is good. She likes confidence. But listen, if I put you up there and if I get you a meeting, and it doesn't work out well, she's gonna be really mad at me. Um, can maybe you give me a little sample up, like um, what exactly would you say like your style is?
Knowing that I've played a variety of things, I go, typically anything. I play everything at an above average pace, but I'm more accustomed to a little bit of harder music.
She
But
nods.
I'm quite fond of ballads.
Okay, ballads are good. I'm mostly interested in the harder stuff because these days it's mostly like jazz and like piano stuff. It's fine for what it is, but I've never heard anything like that. And she points at your guitar, and she says, "That might be the new sound that my boss has been looking for."
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. I don't typically play jazz or piano. If you're looking for the get up on your feet music, that's more where I'm at.
uh, she grins and nods enthusiastically. She says, "Exactly. Get up on your feet. That's what we've been looking for. That's what my boss has been looking for." Um, do you have like some songs prepared? I could give you some time. There's no rush on this, but when you meet my boss, I want you to make sure that like you're ready to really give like a representative performance, I guess, of how you might perform on the stage.
I have a pretty, due to my experience, I have a pretty vast discography, and now that I have my duet with me, um, I mean, we have it. We can also make something new, if that were to impress more.
Uh, no, I mean, it's totally up to you. If you think that you're ready, that's fine with me. I don't want to throw you to the wolves without giving you some warning. Is all.
I'm ready today. I'm ready right now.
Perfect. She gives a thumbs up. She says, "Okay, here's the deal. I'm gonna go talk to my boss. I'll come back. Is this a good place to meet you, or do you want me to meet you somewhere else?
Uh,
It'll take like an hour
no,
if things go well."
I typically spend my time playing in places during, literally mostly all day.
Oh no,
Uh,
no more of that, please. Not until you meet my boss and we make a decision one way or the other. I don't want anyone else to scope you out.
hmm, I will. Okay. If How long would this take? You said
About an hour.
that's perfectly fine.
All right. Maybe you'll just stay here. Don't move an inch. And she sort of like takes a skeptical like step back.
I I I put both my hands up as I slowly start walking backwards and then eventually slowly turning around and getting back on the table.
And she sort of slams into the wall at the back of the inn and then makes her way out. Um, uh,
Huh?
yeah.
Yeah, I guess as you walk back, Riley's just breathing heavily with relief. I'm pretty confident that's not who it was.
No. It seems like the personal assistant manager type. Not terribly fond of those. And they're not owning my music, but if they get me better avenues, I'm willing to share a piece of the cake with them.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you can get in there, that's, getting the foot in the door is the first step. Well, I mean, that's good. A positive spin on things, I guess. I, I mean, on to the grimmer discussion, I guess. The note. I mean, I'm definitely capable of, creating traps and such if need be. I can definitely whip some stuff up.
Oh yeah.
Similarly, so Riley should probably be the main one, but I can create something to make it look like Eris is.
Wait, what did Rose say? You can what?
I can create an image of you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, shit. It's kind of a long way off, isn't it? What is today? The 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can wait until we got plenty of time. But yeah, I want to catch him. I want to catch him, and I want to know who sent him after me.
I do think we should put something on at least the entrances to your room. While the note says the 18th, that doesn't mean it's telling the truth. I mean, all we have is words on paper to go off of here.
I'd second that opinion.
Well, I mean, I got the rest of the day, so I'll spend today probably mostly tinkering. I'll try to work on my my showstopper for you, and then mainly be sure to create some at least some kind of noise trip for you, Eris.
Cool. Well, since the reason they're after me is Rose, do you mind if Ray holds on to my dash?
Your what?
Money.
She's trying to make sure if she gets robbed that she doesn't lose the money.
Sure.
Cool beans. And then I guess I'll just keep like 100 or something on me, just in case.
Sure. How much did you give me?
1,819.
Well, works for me. I unfortunately have to stay here and wait for them to come back, but don't be forced to stay here if you guys have other stuff.
Hey, so can I get caught up on what happened there? What happened at the end? Why were you backing away from each other awkwardly?
I'd assume we heard the whole conversation. I mean, Riley would have been
but
actively listening.
Oh no, but I had to use the bathroom. Mimi wasn't here.
Meta-wise.
It was basically like an agent. He was trying to recruit me.
Huh.
Like a musical agent, to be clear, not like a secret agent, because I realize how that can sound.
Darn, the CIA agent.
Or that's true. That's true. As of what we know, a musical agent.
Why were you guys backing away from each other at the end like that? That's the only part.
That was more of a bit.
Came back to.
He was
Okay.
he was nervous I would go away.
Okay, cool. All right. So, what's on everyone's agenda today?
I mean, at this point, Riley is going to head upstairs, and start trying to see, what it is he could possibly create. Just trying to create just simple sound alarms for, like windows and doors. If anything were to pass through it, that Eris can obviously set and like arm and unarm from the inside. And then is working on I think for Rose's thing, his main goal is to probably kind of craft his smoke bombs to act more as a fog machine for Rose. To where like she has some kind of thing she can use to like pop the smoke bombs and make them go off in like a cool effect. I'm trying to use what Riley technically would have at his use.
You have a scroll of silence and in darkness. Would the darkness not make the smoke useless?
I have silence. I don't have darkness.
What are you talking about? The smoke's for Rose's show.
Yeah, it's for the show.
Oh,
Yeah, the
sorry.
smoke is Rosa's show. For you, I'm just trying to create some kind of like, even if it's just like putting some like metal by the door or something like that, where it's like it'll make a pretty
Gotcha.
loud clanks and stuff if someone tries to get in any way.
Gotcha.
I was like, he's not making anything too intricate, at least not right now. That's Riley's plan.
All right.
Okay.
We can go ahead and do Rose and Ray real quick then, as that will take most of Riley's day there, and Eris can think about what she would like to do as well. The Arlie does come back and retrieves Rose and Ray, and takes you to a familiar place, or at least somewhat familiar, the College of Arts and Humanities, and she takes you to the Student Theater.
The place you didn't like.
Bureaucrats.
Yuck.
Never mind, big venue. Never mind.
There are people.
No,
on
he
the
said you.
stage.
He said you.
Arlie goes up to a fairly young woman, probably like her late 20s, early 30s. She has a long pipe in one hand and these very stylish, sort of green tinted glasses. She's very made up, clearly very fancily dressed. She's sitting in the chair watching these people dance and the musicians playing along. She halts them every once in a while, barking out some insults and then encouraging them to continue in much the same vein. Arlie waits for a little bit and then finally goes forward and whispers into the lady's ear and then takes a step back. She gets out of her seat and moves down towards you and Ray. She looks both of you up and down, very scrutinizing gaze. She says, Arlie tells me you have some sort of new instrument, something, well, perhaps
It's
you'd like to show us.
no problem. If I may have some prep time to set the stage, it could give you the idea a little bit better.
She claps her hands and barks in order, and the stage is cleared. The individuals scurrying off. She clears the whole theater out, aside from yourself, her, and Arlie. Please take all the time that you need.
All right, and I will. Can't control my cooking. There we go. Now I can. I get on the stage and set several predestination. Some to be pseudo lights. The other ones to be kind of made to look like a pretty the word I'm looking for, like gothic background with like tiny castles around me.
Ooh, nice.
As I look at Ray and I go, all right, the new one, just like we practiced. Tune the guitar a little bit. Am I allowed, since I can use Ray stuff summoning spectrally, can she summon my guitar for the purposes of cool RP stuff?
Sure, why not?
Okay, cool. So she I start like playing a fairly like slow bass. As when like it starts picking up, you hear like the sound of thunder strike down. Predestination like strikes lightning down on Ray as her katana turns into a guitar, and we start playing. During the song is like fairly gothic in nature. And then just because I was saving this one as a surprise a little bit, we start intertwining Celestial into our songs as the Gothic castles become more divine. And the scene slowly changes from basically this very dark, gloomy, like graveyard vibe to like gates of heaven type stuff towards the end. Doing like a pseudo stairway to heaven in a visual sense.
Okay. I'll have you roll a performance check with advantage. Yeah, and I'll have her roll some things as well here.
Guidance, because I did cast spells.
Yeah, that's fine.
Give me the good shit, bro. Fuck.
That's okay. She rolled considerably better than you. Towards the end of the song, she doesn't clap. However, she does stand up and pace back and forth a little bit, sort of muttering to herself. After a little bit, she looks up at you two and says, "All right. Do you have an agent or someone I should speak to about contracts and money matters, or do you represent yourself?"
We represent ourselves.
Okay. I believe you are what we refer to as a diamond in the rough. Your act is good, but could use improvement. It could benefit with the help, I think, of an actual team of illusionists to fully realize your vision. Additionally, it's obvious to me you were a little bit nervous for this performance, which is understandable. She kind of like does like she doesn't really have a hair to twirl, but she makes that sort of like motion of like, oh yeah, I mean, everyone is kind of nervous.
Takes a puff of her pipe.
Yes. But that's perfectly understandable, and I could tell that while you didn't perform your optimal, with a bit of practice, I think we can more reliably. Well, in any case, Arlie described this as get up and stomp your feet music, and I would tend to agree. It is very interesting, that guitar that you use. The sounds that it makes are quite, well, energizing, I suppose, is the right word.
We have a name for it if you don't like get up and dance music.
What is it?
Ray looks giddy as I go, well, she did come up with it, but we like to call it in general rock, but our specific type is hex rock.
She nods and says, "Ooh, a bit of a mysterious vibe. Warlocks, of course, long since forbidden in these lands."
That's what makes it intriguing.
She nods. She says, I like that. That's a good hook. It might draw in just the sort of people that we're interested in. All right. With that in mind, it seems that you're good at marketing yourself as well, which is excellent. I won't have to pay people to play yourselves up. You're perfectly capable of doing that yourselves. I have an open slot at the Grand Theater. I've been looking for an act for the festival on the 20th. Are you going to be in Eklund on? Are you going to be around on the 20th of this month?
Well, I believe, and I obviously know the answer, but I go and look, and I'm like, I believe I'll still be here on the 20th. I was meant to leave on the 18th, but one can't pass up this opportunity, obviously.
All right. In that case, I'd be willing to offer your group, whatever you end up deciding to call yourselves.
Riot, we have a name.
Right. Perfect. Perfect. I will be willing to offer 1,500 gold pieces for your performance on that night. In addition, should you choose to accept this little contract, I would like the option to buy out the services of your group for the foreseeable future, depending on your performance that night and how popular it is. To be clear, the buyout, you'd be able to reject it, of course. However, I would insist that you sign a non-compete at that point. I don't want you going to someone else who might be willing to pay more but doesn't have the same appreciation for art that I do.
In all of my previous contracts, have
two requirements that well, they must be met even if the pay gets lower because of it. Requirement number one, my main goal is obviously to play my music and start developing well, a little bit of a cult following, so more people write music like mine. Don't get me wrong, love the whole jazz soft stuff, but not my cup of tea the entire time. So I would like to travel, even with this contract.
I think that we could find a way to make that work. I will say, just to warn you, the pay in that case would be on the numbers at your various performances.
That's fine.
And if you don't perform in the city, then there will be fewer people. But I don't see this as necessarily being a large problem as long as you're willing to take the pay cut.
Perfectly fine. Performance based, I've always found is better in my eyes.
All right, that's easily met. What's the second requirement?
Second requirement. I do like your theater here, but as with the my second requirement, I point to the section to the left, the section she's in, the section to her right, and the section far right, and I go, in about that much of an area, I require that there be no chairs and that people stand.
This is not terribly surprising to me, as Arlie did say that, well, the idea is to stand up and stamp your feet, or yes, that's not an issue. And to be clear, this is not the stage that you will be performing on. The Grand Theater is much larger than this, and we have much more control over the environment there as well.
I agree. I more meant the first section to have no chairs, as I found they've become, and well, they inhibit me. And yes,
Certainly.
I didn't play my best, but I play better with much the larger the crowd, the better I play. I tend to feed off of their energy.
As all good performers do. Those are both easily met requirements as far as I'm concerned. Arlie will write up a little contract. Don't worry, she's not a lawyer, so there won't be any legalese. It'll just be what we discussed right here and right now. Right, Arlie? And she sort of gives Arlie a look, who nods very firmly. Unless there's anything else, I would expect you to perhaps spend some more time here performing, or practicing, rather. Would that be acceptable to you? I can provide a small stipend in the meantime to make up for any lost wages of you playing at other places. I would like to prefer. I'd prefer that you. Well, I think that perhaps you playing the guitar is not a good idea. But if you'd like to go and perform at other areas to try to build up your name in preparation for this, I'd be perfectly fine with that. I'd like to keep the guitar a surprise, though.
Very well. I am. We are both very adaptable to the other instruments, but yeah, I'll stay here for today if you wish, but for the other days, I'd like to make more of a name. It gets more people in.
Precisely. That's why I'm okay with it. Sure. Let's. I'll dedicate my day to this as well then, and we'll see if we can reach. Well, if we can structure out what your performance will be the day of. With that, Rose and Ray will work with Director Teague for the remainder of the day. Riley, you can go ahead and make tinkering checks. Yeah.
Yeah. Did she take account and/or was bothered when I started speaking Celestial, or did she just assume it was part of it?
She did seem to notice. She did not mention it in particular.
I think I would have brought that up. Um, sorry. So, Director Teague, last thing. This was a song that we made pretty recently. Know the assistant said I could choose, but, well, I already know I'm fairly competent with my other songs, and I love them as well, but making new music is kind of where it's at. Um, as to the different language, does that go well in this town? There's some towns where it doesn't hit as much.
No, I'm sorry. I had sort of assumed that you would have known, and that's why you included it. No, X City is quite religious. You'll find that there will be many individuals in the crowd who will appreciate your inclusion of Celestial, even if they don't necessarily understand every word.
All right, perfect. Always good to ask. I did know the town was fairly religious, but it is Ray likes speaking it, and I've grown accustomed to singing it with her.
As long as the whole song is in Celestial, I think we're fine.
No. All right, and then I'm good after that.
All right. Riley, you can make 2 tinkering.
I was gonna say,
checks.
do I need to make 2? Okay, so I guess the first one will be my noise machine for Eris's room, and then let me back to my inventory, and then my second one will be my stuff for Rose.
Sure. With the 15, you make
Sheesh.
there you go. With the 15, you make serviceable but not like particularly extraordinary noise-making devices and like alarm systems.
Okay.
It's not really the sort of thing that like you would necessarily be as excited about as like opposed to like messing with the smoke bomb.
Yeah. No, this was definitely more of just like which it kind of works canonically, because in my head he was just whipping up something real quick as like a, hey, precautionary just in case someone breaks in, we have some line of like noise happening.
Sure. Obviously with the Nat 20,
Yes, sir.
you do an excellent job of creating several smoke machines with your almost unlimited supply of smoke bombs. You release things for as long as you'd like. And you even managed to do it without like creating an issue or a scene at the end where you're tinkering, which
Let's
is
go.
also.
Yeah, I thought about that after, and I was like, I'll just run it. We'll see what happens.
If you roll high enough, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. But yeah, I'll say that will take your day, but you do make excellent smoke machines that might give a bit of a bonus to the performance check at the festival. Eris, is there anything in particular you like to do with the day?
Yeah, since no one will let me do anything fun and illegal, I guess I will attempt to handle this illegal way. I'd like to check out the college, the magic college.
Sure.
I don't know what the fuck I expect
Hey,
to happen.
we
but-
told you could go to the place. Just don't be divulging our info, you know?
Yeah, but you guys also didn't give me permission to tell the Redbirds whatever. Take me to the college.
Yeah, let me check or what I named it. I'm not sure if I have it here. Maybe I didn't upload it. Okay. In any case, you arrive. It is a fairly bustling campus. It is the Eklund Arcane College. It has a number of large buildings. They seem to be sort of sorted by color, as most buildings are kind of painted somewhat haphazardly, and there's a lot of gray. But the different buildings appear to indicate what school of magic they're supposed to be dedicated to. With a number of sort of large, more administrative central buildings as well, where you see like lecture halls and bureaucratic offices and things like that. Where would you like to go within the college?
Shit, I don't know.
Or, well, I mean, what are you looking for?
Okay, so I guess inquiring about magical artifacts.
Okay, you can make a persuasion check.
With advantage.
Bro, you are a fucking menace with dice. It actually pisses me off. It's so irritating. You're so good at pressing
Give me
buttons.
the magical
Oh, you're
artifact!
so good at pressing buttons. It's so infuriating. God.
Wani.
With a nat 20.
You'd be a menace in PvP.
I'm trying to think about how to even respond. All right.
He's like, how do
That
I?
is so fair.
He's like, how do I just give this to her? God damn it.
Well,
Eris
it,
just walks up and goes, "Yo, how do I get one of them artifacts?" And they're like, "Damn, she's so charismatic."
yeah. So here's what happens. You go to like one of the buildings where you get a sense like you're supposed to be talking to people there. You make your inquiries about the magic items. They tell you to wait, and that you're in for a treat is what they would say.
What the
Do
fuck?
you wait?
Sure.
Do you wait?
Why not? Why not? Sure.
Okay. An older individual in gray robes approaches you with a long beard.
Grey robes.
He
gray robes. Is he average height?
he is average height. However, he is a
Fuck.
very old individual. He says, "Do you mind if we go somewhere a little bit more comfortable?"
Sure. I was
Perfect.
told
And he
this was
puts
gonna
a
be
hand on your
fun.
shoulder, and you see the world disappear.
Cool.
Okay.
I got kidnapped.
All right. Well, rip Eris. GG's everybody.
Rip.
Off a nat 20.
Let me set this up real quick because I did not expect to have to do this today, but here we are.
Well, you wouldn't have to if I was allowed to be illegal.
Hey, you're allowed to be illegal, so I'm not stopping you. It's your team.
We're also not stopping her, to be clear. Just highly suggesting.
highly opinionated group there.
Yeah.
All right, activate figure. So you find yourself in a massive room with a swirling, what appears to be like a vortex of energy at its center. All around you, you can see the
Jesus.
sort of like a starscape, basically. And there are these large sort of towers on each side that are kind of opened in, all facing the center vortex area. The individual who brought you here moves a little bit closer to the vortex. He says, well, welcome to my office. So they said that you were interested in magical items. Is that correct?
Yeah, I sure am.
Perfect. I have quite a few artifacts in my collection. I do need a little bit of information, though. I understand that you're an outworlder. Could you tell me a little bit about you and your group?
Bro, he just knows these things?
Yeah. What do you want to know exactly? Where I come from, or what kind of information are you going for?
I don't really care that much about that. No offense, I'm sure it's very interesting, and no, I'm mostly interested in well, outworlders and individuals like myself. We can often have very good and mutually beneficial relationships with one another. I, for example, can provide magical items, or perhaps, and he has like a little twinkle in his eye, mana stones. You, in exchange, can do the sorts of things that I would get myself in trouble for attempting to do.
Aha, cool, great. How do you know all this?
He frowns and looks at you. He says, "It was in the papers, of course."
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
all right, I guess. Fair.
Fair enough.
All right, well, what do you got in mind?
Oh, well, I do have a bit of a job. It would probably be quite difficult for you to accomplish on your own.
Uh-huh, depending on the job, I could probably convince the group, depending on the reward and such.
All right. Leaving reward outside of things for a moment, I know that you have a very young individual in your group. What sort of things would you be comfortable with your group doing on like a some people call me morally gray.
Yeah, Well, unfortunately, the rest of my group is morally white, I guess.
Okay, that's
So
not a
nothing
problem. That's not
illegal.
a problem. I have a individual that I need to track down. They could be in danger, and I like you to rescue them from that danger. I believe it's the sort of thing that would appeal to a group like yours.
All right. Do you know their location? How far away are they?
Yes. Well, I knew where they were headed. Unfortunately, my divinations past a certain point have been blocked. I'm not entirely sure who is interfering with them, but it can't be good. They were headed to the town of Driftwood. It's right on the border of this nation and the rocky vale below.
And why exactly do you need Outworlders to do this for you?
He grins and he says, well, I can think of two reasons. First of all, I think that Outworlders tend to be much more motivated by the promise of a reward than normal mercenaries.
You're not wrong.
Also, normal mercenaries not the most reliable. And also, this may or may not have something to do with the celestial individual in your group.
Oh. All right. And what exactly does it have to do with her?
He shrugs. I don't know.
Okay.
Love
Well,
this guy.
my companion is very protective over her, so can't really move forward without knowing what we're getting into with her.
Well, I can't say for sure. Like I said, or maybe I didn't say, I've been discussing these events with individuals, and he gestures to the vortex behind him. But those individuals are not very communicative, and when they are, it's kind of difficult to understand them. All I know is there were lots of mentions of Ray, which I believe is the name of your celestial companion. And all of those mentions came up when I asked them what I should do about this individual, like I said, that I need to track down to make sure that they're okay.
All right. What's the time limit on this task?
I would say you would need to leave probably within a month or so.
Oh, wow. That's convenient. All right. Well, as long as this isn't illegal and we don't have to kill anyone, right? Just save this person, find them.
Yes, I'm willing to give you some more details since it seems like you're interested. This individual, they are the son of a fairly wealthy individual who I am acquainted with. They ran away from home. They are a minor, so it is in fact illegal for them to do these sorts of things.
Friend.
And well, like I said, they're heading to Driftwood. That's about where my information ends. I did get the sense from my friend that they were particularly worried about this. Otherwise, they would not be asking me for help. They would have just went and hired someone on their own. Yeah, that more or less sums things up.
All right. Well, sounds promising. All right, now let's talk about rewards. Come on, old man.
All right. I think that for something like this, unfortunately, this isn't the most pressing issue for me, so I'm not willing to give out top things for the rewards. However, I would be willing to provide each of your group members with a mana stone to increase your level of power.
Let's go.
All right. That sounds cool. And money?
Well, I would be willing to provide some monetary reward for this, but like I said, not the top amount as the other jobs that are more important to me, frankly, give.
I'll take what I can get. Now, what I originally came here for, I was inquiring about magical artifacts.
He shakes his head. He says, unfortunately, for a mission like this, I'm not willing to part with any magical items.
God, what a bummer.
I'd be willing to give 500 gold pieces to each of your group members.
All right. I'm all right with that amount.
I mean, the main thing that I have to trade here is the mana stones. You can't just find those on any street corner.
All right. Well, I'll go back and confirm with the group. I don't see a reason why they would not want to do this, but who knows with them.
All right.
Yes, I will
Decide
get
one
back
way or
to
the
you
other
on
by
that.
the end of the month. I don't think that this individual is going to be in danger for that period, but it's always. I don't want to wait too long.
Yep, sure thing. I'll get back to you probably within a few days. All right. How the hell do I get out of here?
Oh, yes. He walks over, puts his hand on your shoulder, and you find yourself back in the lobby of the Arcane College where you started.
Cool. Also, why is there no desk in your office?
He's not there anymore to ask. He teleported you away.
Damn it. I wanted to ask that so bad. I was like, what the fuck kind of office is this?
Bro, my man can just teleport all willy-nilly. What a beast.
Oh, excellent. Wow, teleported right at the dinner table.
At the end of the day, you all return having your various activities completed. Do you guys take an evening meal together, or I suppose you guys probably wake up the next day and take your lunches together? I think that's more appropriate for your group.
Yeah, seems like our lunch meetings are the most ideal.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead and make another. I'll say this will be an just a straight intelligence check, Rose, with advantage, as you're collaborating with Director T to try to come up with ideas for your performance, because there's like the literal performance aspect, and then there's also like the conceptualization of it.
Ooh,
Okay.
not shabby.
The 17, you and she, you come up with some good ideas, sort of building off of your theme of hex rock. Obviously, not too. I'll say there's like a mixture of like more celestial stuff and a mixture of like, more gothic stuff, I guess, as you would say. But yeah, you guys collaborate fairly well, and you establish a basic outline for your performance on the day of the festival. But yeah, you guys can confer with each other based off the events of the previous day.
I do have a quick question, God. With my like literal just best smoke machine to ever touch the face of Earth, or rather the world that we're on. What all am I like? I'm assuming I can't just slap like lasers on it to make a cool show, but can I at least get like multicolored smoke, since I like nat 20'd it, where like it can be kind of
yeah,
things like
that's actually kind of what I was thinking of.
okay, sweet.
In terms of, yeah, like any like little thing that would make it for a better performance, like spinning around to like throw the smoke into like all the bells and whistles.
Okay.
You can definitely get with the nat 20 there.
Gotcha. I would then, being me, like, as soon as I finish, like, working my shift at 11, I would, like, go sit at this table, with my smoke machine, just, like, sitting, and Eris would have probably seen the little, like, sound machines in her room. They're just, like, simple traps that I left a little note, like, hey, flick this thing when you close your door to, like, activate the noise. So you know what you're doing. But yeah, Riley's sitting there like an hour in advance, just like so excited to show Rose this machine. And Eris too. I mean, just everyone. This marvel. I was like, does everyone else just arrive normally, I suppose?
Yeah.
I was muted, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, pulling up. I guess if you kind of like pull up at the same time, like, okay, I know I usually get excited about little things. I promise y'all, it's worth it this time. And I will, having had the machine like sitting next to me, I pull it up and like put it, throw it on the table. And I'm just like, this bad boy has got it all. All right, the smoke bombs can activate at any time you want it. It's a super small little switch just like this, and I'll kind of like put the little machine, the little like remote on there. I'm like, it's got multicolored smoke. It can spin. It can spray smoke anywhere, however you want it, however much you want it, in whatever density you want it, whatever opacity you want it. And it's the epitome of a smoke machine. I'm telling you.
Whatever opacity, that can be kind of sick.
That's what I'm saying, Rose. Like, Oh, I don't know how I did it, but I nailed this one.
All right. Okay, you are a very good tech assistant. I will humbly accept this, and I will whatever I get in my contract, I will give you a percentage depending on how this goes.
I smile huge. He was okay. So inside of his mind, he was prepared to make a joke about getting a cut, but not expecting one. So he's like ecstatic right now. He's like, oh. Okay, whatever you feel is appropriate, Miss Rose. And Eris, we can mess around with it later. Trust me, it's so much fun.
All right, I'll take your word for it, kid.
Is it okay if I take it to practice with, or do you want to keep it?
Oh no, 100%. Please do. You got to get ready for the show. But before you take it, I wanna show
I do know I
Eris
have
at
a
least.
show.
Well, you just said, didn't you?
No.
You take it to practice. Whoa. All right.
Yeah.
Rewind.
I took it to practice, not my show.
You said you got a contract. Okay, leave me alone. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I assumed you had a small show somewhere. I mean, you've been playing shows every single night, so.
Don't be spying on me, Riley.
You've told us you've played at places. I'm sorry.
No, but I do have I am booked for the 20th on the biggest venue in the city in the biggest time.
His
Easy
eyes,
does it.
His eyes widening. You got the big one?
The biggest one, not the big one.
That's
also
awesome.
In about, I'll say, a day or two, I am, like I said previously, I have a practice at the college, managed to get in. I think I'm going to have an agent, and I have a contract lined up. So, pretty efficient use of my time so far.
Yeah, that's amazing. And Eris, I do hope you saw the note I left in your room. It's that one. I'll admit wasn't my best work. It wasn't my worst, but I was putting a lot of time into the smoke machine. But it should serve as a good. No one can break into your room as long as you set it every time you go in. At least not without you knowing.
It just makes a loud noise, right? If you set it off.
Yeah, that was pretty much the intention of like once you set it, if someone tries to open a door or window or like tries to get into your room without you undoing it, it will be very loud and very obnoxious.
Yeah. Well, kind of opened my door without reading the note, and my door screamed at me, and Keeper's kind of pissed at me, but you live and you learn.
I mean, hey, that means it works, right?
That means it works, exactly.
Oh, but yeah, no, that's awesome. Eris, what'd you do with the back half of your day?
Yeah, well, I tried to approach things from a legal standpoint, and I still didn't really get far, but I got somewhere. And then, so I got an offer from an old man in gray robes.
Riley looks at you weirdly. An old man?
You
yeah.
said gray robes?
Yeah. Apparently, he's the leader of. Did he? Hudson? Oh God.
What?
I do not remember how the guy introduced himself to me.
He didn't.
Oh, he didn't? Cool. Alright, well, some top wizard motherfucker at the college of whatever offered me a job.
Riley looks very relieved. He's like, oh, thank God it was the college. You had me very worried. Not that we know for sure, but that makes you feel a little better.
Yeah, he was of average height too. It was
That's concerning.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm still alive. I'm here, aren't I?
I guess so.
And hey, get this though. It's not an illegal job, okay? Because I know you guys don't like that morally gray shit. It's a pretty solid job, and we get mana crystals at the end of it, okay? I love mana stones.
Yeah, Riley does look excited and goes, "Oh, I did like when we had those. I like you just feel like smarter. You just feel stronger."
Yeah, we just have to find some kid who ran away from home. It's a solid gig, all right? We don't have to kill anyone. Don't have to steal anything. All right, nothing illegal.
I mean,
if it's not interfering with my concert, I'm more than willing to accept.
Yeah, I just have to get back to him by at least the end of the month that we're all in. But
yeah, I mean, if this is a rescue mission, I really don't see a problem with it, I guess.
yep, still didn't get my magical artifact yet. But you know what? At least I got something out of this.
Well, maybe if you get in good with this guy, he can hook you up.
He fucking better. I still need to earn more money though. Soon.
Tell me about it. Oh, also, we're supposed to be taking off money per day, huh?
Isn't it
If
only
you did
one?
not pay up front, then yes.
It's only been
It is-
2 days, right?
You guys started out the month on the 1st, so
It was on the
you have-
first,
you have to pay
one
for all
night,
4.
2 night, 3 night. Okay, so it'd be. Are we paying per night or what are we paying per?
Per night, yeah.
Okay, I'm at 3 gold, baby.
Did the director give me gold for the day that I missed?
Yes. She would have given you 10 gold.
10?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was like that's really all Riley had to say lunch wise. I mean, he might go on about the smoke machine and kind of trying to teach Rose like the intricacies. Good lord, intricacies.
Dude, your INT words have been off
I know,
today.
I know. But yeah, just teaching her how to use it, going over it, like every little knob. This is how you adjust this. This is how you change this. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, this will actually change what I do today. So listen, thank you, Riley. Like I said, I will give you a percentage when I use the machine.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, whatever you deem appropriate. Mm.
All right. I'll say, since I think we kind of have everyone established as to what they want to be doing, well, I guess we can.
So I am going to need more money.
Yeah, I think all of us want more money.
I can't afford a room.
Yeah, Eris got you, okay? It's just 1 gold.
Okay, I mean, if Eris is willing to pay the extra gold a night, that's fine. He was gonna go to the guy and ask if anyone ever plays Emperor's Gambit for money, like his employer. After he gets a little close, having worked a few days.
The employer does confirm that people do, particularly at that club in the Diamond.
Son of a
quarter.
bitch. Does that kid come in semi-regularly?
You haven't seen him on any of the days that you've been in.
Fuck. All right, well, never mind. I'll just mooch off of Eris, at least for the time being, and I'll pay her back when I win.
You should make like an earpiece and like Eris goes to play the game and you like tell her the moves to make in her ear. That's too convoluted.
Then we have 2 chances to win instead of 1.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, I guess, if we're establishing what everyone's doing, Riley is studying up on Emperor's Gambit and working, and he is doing those 2 things diligently.
Okay.
Rose will, for this day, go back to the college, establish that a person from my group made the smoke machine, how to incorporate it into the act. Otherwise, riling up a name with marketing and all that, being charismatic as she is, trying to get people to go. And during her not playing times, be meditating with Ray on connections.
Okay. Sure. So you are hooked up with Director Teague. She has like a small group that is apparently like responsible for the larger events in the festival at the Grand Theater, and you're working with them to help incorporate the smoke machine. They're very impressed by it, as was the Nat 20 thing there. They say like, oh well, normally we just use illusions, but having like the physical thing there, I think will be like a real treat for people. For the other stuff, you can go ahead and make performance checks, I'll say. Is performance or persuasion better for you? I can't remember.
Persuasion.
Okay, you can make persuasion checks then. Like I'll say your performances are always like pretty consistently good. It's more a question of like glad handing and like saying like, oh, come see me and Ray at the festival event, blah blah blah, like that sort of thing. Very much more so like the marketing aspect of things.
Guerrilla marketing.
She's cute.
Yeah.
That sounds so deceiving.
Sheesh.
I feel like there's like been just an unusual amount of nat 20s tonight.
You've only had 3 nat 20s. Come on.
That's not true. That can't be true.
No, there's been way more than 3.
No, like 3 in the last like couple.
Oh yeah.
Like Ray has been the only one to not nat 20. She got a 16, but Rose.
Why
and Eric
can't we
were
roll
right.
this high when we're fighting?
Because that'll make it too easy. Frankly.
That would make the game great.
There's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's been 5. In 1, 2, 3, I think like 12 rolls, or no, way more than that, like 20 something was.
I'm so happy I binked that smoke machine.
But yeah, 29.
I thought
better
that's definitely. All right. In any case, I'll say Rose does get a small fall. I won't even say a small following. You get quite a few people promising to go to the festival specifically to see you and Ray. Yeah, with the nat 20 there. I assume, are you following your agreement with Director Teague not to use your electric guitar?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So you get the sense that you might have been a little bit like you could have gotten like quite a bit of a bigger name if you had used your electric guitar. But despite that, though, you get the sense that the people will be that much more impressed when they do come and see it on the day of the festival. Setting you up for what could be a performance of a lifetime here.
A crazy ass like plus something to add it on.
Yeah, between this and the smoke machine, honestly, this is gonna be
This is kind of hype. This is kind of hype.
Well, we'll see. There could be to this, but we'll see. In any case, all right. So Riley, go ahead and make a tactics check.
I would like to ask if a way I could get advantage to this is I was thinking while I'm working, because I have my what the hell is the spell called? Unseen Servant. If I can use my Unseen Servant to like keep moving boxes and stuff, like sometimes while I'm working at the store, and then I will kind of like be reading like little strategy guides that might be there, or be like watching games while my like little servant is doing things, working alongside it at times as well, obviously, but using that to get some extra time in the store while I'm there.
You can go ahead and make a stealth check with advantage.
Fair enough. All right, let me see here. Click. Oh, that was not advantage, but I mean, is that good enough? I can roll it again.
That's sufficient.
Okay.
Yeah. So the guy, he doesn't notice your employer. He's most of the year like in the back room anyway, doing the stalking and whatnot. Yeah, he does not notice you using the Unseen Servant.
Job's still getting done, baby.
You do manage to. All right. So go ahead and make another You just go ahead and make a tactics check. You may add a D4 to your roll.
Okay.
This extra time you managed to get.
I'll take it. Let's fucking go, baby!
Woo!
Was that a 20 and a 4? Oh, no, it was a 3. Whew, I thought a 20 and a 4. 31? I just gotta be like, I'm a
roll
fucking...
like that on certain fights. God damn it.
I mean, Hudson, if I'm not a fucking unit at this game yet, I don't know. I don't know what'll get me there.
Okay. Yes, you do manage to pick up the game, and you feel like you basically reached what you might call expertise.
Let's
by the
go!
end of 2 weeks here. You are now an expert at the game of Emperor's Gambit.
Oh, fucking pog.
Let's see. Eris, what would you like to do for the week that you have here of downtime?
I don't
Did
know.
I make a check for the meditation stuff or not yet?
Not yet. You're gonna have to do that for the full month, I think, if you want to check on it.
That's fine.
So we're because we're stopping here at the day of the tournament. That's sort of the first big event that'll stop the downtime here.
Oh, we did go at some point to Philip and give him his books.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
How did he react to the...
Yeah, in terms of the trial will also be on the 18th.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
nice.
So yeah, that's the information you get from him. He has apparently met with his barrister. He doesn't think that the barrister apparently doesn't think that his odds are very good, but he's trying to clearly keep a hopeful outlook. He has said that the barrister thinks that if you guys are willing, testifying would definitely be helpful.
Riley is
But
more than happy to
he
testify.
emphasizes only if you're willing, as you don't get to decide what questions you're given on the stand by the
That's
prosecutor
fair.
or the counter. So it's up to you guys whether or not you like to risk that or not.
Riley's doing it 100%.
Okay. Well, in any case, you'll have some time to think about that. Eris, what would you like to do for your downtime? I want to get those rules out of the way before we continue here.
I don't know. I don't really have anything too much in mind. Maybe explore the college a little, the magic college a little more. See if I can learn anything useful, or I don't know, anything useful towards helping my magic abilities.
Okay. You can go ahead and make an investigation check.
Investigation. Yep, I've been rolling too high for that not to happen.
Yeah. I'm kind of relieved, to be honest.
He's like, God, not again.
Yeah. They do have like an open library there that you can like look at various books, but you get the sense they keep the kind of good stuff behind, and not just anyone can access the actual good stuff. You spend some time there. You don't find anything particularly interesting or useful during your time there. In any case, the day of the 15th comes around, and that we will pick up next time.
Oh.
Emperor's Gambit.
Oh, we have so many exciting things happening.